Off we go. Hello, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. We're going to start with, as I said, trying to make sure that I can be heard well and that there are no issues in that department. We got thumb up, at least one thumb.
Stream sound works. Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. If we are all good in that department, as it seems that we are, I'm going
you
to.
are not going through my.
I don't think so. I don't hear myself through yours. Anybody else?
Okay.
All good? Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. Let's see. I think do it this way. So let's get started with our intro. My papers, because I'm blind. Welcome on in, everyone, to Jumpspace Freelancers, a mini-series that sees a crew of freelancers in the universe of Space Junk, taking on jobs, pursuing their personal goals, and just general space shenanigans, under the command of Captain Babrol Jumpglider Black. Each player has an initial character and a secondary character as a backup for other types of missions, or if anything untoward befalls their main character. These backup characters are NPCs on the ship, and we may hear from them even when they are not in play. Does the crew need an unexpected demolitions advice? Radio up the shipbreaker. Do they need emergency pickup by the ship after a zero-G mission goes awry? The pilot might swoop in to their rescue. In these instances, we'll have the players briefly play and roll for their secondary character, where possible. But if not, I'll be doing the rolling and playing. With that out of the way, let's jump into it. You're rocked as the ship, Jumpglider's Edge, drops out of jump space. It's been just over a month since Captain Black took this job. To survey some rogue planet hurtling through Sector 0101, and to track down what happened to the last ship assigned to the job. You're quite in the middle of something, but Black wastes no time as the intercom clicks on, barking off a list of those to head to the drop bay and prepare for the mission. And as expected, you're on it. 20 minutes isn't much time, but it will have to be. You wonder to yourself why the captain is always in such a rush. Thankfully, you anticipated it, at least somewhat, and you're mostly prepared. Now you've just got to wrap up and head out. Let's start with you, Merlin. Introduce yourself and your role, and let us know what you're up to right before heading to the drop in.
Alrighty. My character is Cleon, Warforged Eldritch Knight. I am a tactical officer on the Jumpglider's Edge, and prior to the briefing, I was pretty much on the bridge reviewing the deck plans of the crashed ship that we're planning on exploring until, Captain Black made his way to the meeting, in which case I followed him to the conference.
Oh yeah, that absolutely tracks. All right, so next up would be Scott. Who are you? What are you doing?
This is Xylos, a mid-20s near-human with a blue, somewhat translucent skin and a slightly elongated bald head. An artificer warden with a drone constantly in tow, working at this moment just on some upkeep repairs of one of the lifters, and upon sort of feeling the warp end, head on to where expected.
And sort of wrap up what you're doing and head off. Apologies, I had jumped to you before we got a brief description of you, your character, Merlin. So, kind of like visually, what do you look like? So you had been sort of like wood
Mhm.
and stone and bits of metal,
Right.
enchanted as you were.
Hmm.
What are you now?
Um,
Kind of constructed of, at least the outer layer, right?
right. I'm not totally sure what it's made of, but I've incorporated present day augmented plate mail into my being. It
Or
integrates into my body. I kind of have a natural, kind of dark navy blue, black kind of skin that is enhanced by whatever armor I'm wearing. So I may be maybe shinier or lighter, or it's kind of depends on the lighting. I have red eyes, 6'7", kind of an imposing figure. Sometimes with a cloak, sometimes not. I think right now not. But I think resembling a living statue is a reasonable. That's a
or
solid way to explain him.
I think you kind of went from like carved out of like maybe wood and
Hmm.
possibly stone with maybe tiny like your shoulders may have been metal or what have you, to now you almost look like you're carved out of like polished black marble or obsidian or something.
Yeah. Hmm.
Given like the armor plates that you would have had incorporated to you later, once waking up, would have been
Hmm.
like probably some like carbon alloy armor or something like that.
Right.
Um, but yes, finally we have finally for today we have Mothership.
My
What are you
character.
doing? What do you look like? We did not ask for the input, dogs. Not currently.
Um, my character's name is Armilla, and she is kind of she's an if I could pronounce it,
Advitgat.
Abitgat. Thank you. Which is basically a mushroom person. Basically,
Yeah, pretty much.
I am actually in process of cleaning up my last experiment in my quarters. I kind of spilled,
I imagine
so
just nature of your personality and how long you've been on the ship, your quarters and your lab are basically you knock down the wall. It's one big room
yes,
now.
yes. So, anyway, so I'm cleaning that up, and after I get it cleaned up, I'm just slipping on my um, lab coat slash piece of armor that I wear.
I
It looks like a silver lab coat.
Yeah, fair enough. You have like an armored lab coat for when you're out, it's sort of so people can from a distance identify you, but you're also still quite protected.
Yes.
Fantastic. Um,
Yep.
and we had sort of mentioned this before the stream, but you're somewhere between like 5'8" and 6 foot, which wasn't just a
Mhm.
reference of being unsure. Your species can sort of vary their height a little. So you could like choose to be 6 foot one day, and like one day you could choose to be 5'8". So
Yes.
just mentioning that in relation to the pre-stream talk.
Yeah.
Um, but with that, you head to the drop bay. Yes. Excuse me.
I head to the meeting room.
Yeah.
Yes.
The meeting rooms. They're having the meeting in the drop bay. That is standard procedure. Uh, As you all file in to the drop bay, Captain Black stands center left of the room below the VidCom panel, facing the dropship, which is roughly 15 meters tall, with an interior diameter of around 8 meters. So, pretty large. Though when its landing gear is extended, it is quite a bit larger. Um, After a few moments, as if waiting to ensure everyone is in, he turns, greeting the lot of you with a thin, tusked half smile, his moss green skin standing out against his burnt coffee brown duster and hat, which willfully evoke Old Earth West, despite his Orcish heritage. Standing barely 1.72 meters or 5 foot 8 inches tall. He is exceptionally short for an orc. Despite this, each of you know all too well the menacing aura he can muster when needed. He steps closer to the lot of you, the numerous firearms stowed beneath his duster flashing into sight before he speaks. All right. This job should be pretty straightforward. We're to survey this rogue world drifting through this region of space. There was a crew assigned to this job, standard CUE survey ship, the Cyclops, but they went dark, so we were called. Data pads containing deck plans are on the dropship, and motions towards the dropship. In addition to the survey, we're to locate the crashed ship and figure out what happens. He pauses as if asking for... he pauses for questions. Anything so far? If nobody says anything after about maybe 6 to 10 seconds, he'll just keep speaking. In fact, he almost immediately goes into it as if he's asking a question no one answered. Standard CUE survey ships perform low altitude scans. They're cheap, mass-produced. I'm not even sure their sensors could reach from outside the atmosphere. Ours can. No need to land, especially given that we have the dropship. Plus, I'm not exactly a fan of setting the ship down unless we have to. If you're ready, Mothership, about to get to your part. Captain Black leaps up, grabbing the VidCom panel hanging from the ceiling and hitting the button. To aid with that, we've got Mordeto's report. The screen flickers on. The screen flickers on, showing a high camera angle, or at least it seems high, looking down onto a small round rock creature, a peblin. This one wreathed in thin gold bands, and all of 3 feet tall, sitting in the pilot's seat, which is all too large for it. The ship's multi-talented NavCom officer and pilot, Mordeto. If you'd like to read the...
Sorry, Captain. I was thinking about home. I started to answer you in our language.
I was wondering what that was. Fantastic. Go ahead.
So, this planet is 2,118 kilometers in diameter. It is densely forested with something quite resembling trees and can support most known forms of humanoid life, though oxygen levels are dangerously close to toxic at 23%. Breathers should be kept on hand. The planet is dotted with kilometers tall silicate crystal throughout the forested area. These seem to interfere with powerful electrical symptoms, such as a ship causing power drains. A light of approximately 25 lumen permeates the world, with bright spots 10 times brighter right around the crystals. There are energy readings indicating jump-fueled deposits throughout the forest. Scans have picked up the approximate location of the crashed ship directly beside a crystal. We can drop you within 3 kilometers of it. There are bioforms registering on the crashed ship, but because of the electrical interference, I can't tell how many. Also, there are strange moving dead zones around the jump fuel deposits that I cannot identify. I don't know. Could be just single signal interference. I feel like this world is busier than it seems, so keep an eye out. And then he nods at the captain and clicks off.
Right. Thanks, Mordetto. As mentioned, the VidCom clicks off. Captain Black turns and asks if any of you have questions. But one thing I will note is that Mordetto is a psionic. So when they say that they have a feeling the planet is a bit more populated, it means a little bit more.
They can sense the whole planet, the life as a whole.
The implication is that they can sense something at least.
Gotcha.
I don't know that anybody in the crew necessarily knows the limitations of Mordetto's psionic abilities. So
Gotcha.
Definitely just an
Cleon.
implication of there's a sense of something there. Go ahead.
Gotcha. Cleon would actually remark and just say the heightened oxygen would make explosives larger, flames larger. That's like the only thing he would trigger on and want to make clear to everybody. Be aware, explosives will be larger than you expect because of the increased oxygen in the atmosphere.
Dax, yeah. Sort of looks around for any further commentary. And if
how far away are we going to be dropped from the crash site?
3 kilometers.
Out of character, do we have a conveyance from the dropship to the, anywhere else? Do we have like a rover or anything?
No, you do not.
Okay.
So it's 3 kilometers on foot through a densely forested alien world in the dark, because I seem to have forgotten to mention, especially for those on stream, there's no sun in this area, so the only light is from whatever the glow is in the forest.
Right. And you did mention that. You said it was... You did mention it.
Perhaps.
A quick point of clarification. I did pick up a bullseye lantern. Is that effectively a flashlight in this
I would say
setting?
That's just a flashlight, yeah.
Okay. Because, I do not have dark vision.
Maybe an exceedingly, long flashlight.
Mm-hmm. Like the snake kind that you can bend and point where you need it to go.
Yeah.
Not really what I meant by long, but that's very funny. Yeah, I imagine it's like a pinpoint, spotlight flashlight. What a security guard would have, which totally tracks for you.
Yeah.
I
guess I could even integrate it into myself just because of the nature of that. So maybe it's just
potentially
side of my head or something.
It's just like in your arm, it sticks out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Am I right in thinking that this is slightly smaller than the moon? Out of character.
I honestly don't know how big the moon is. It is. The
moon is 3,500 kilometers diameter.
Oh yeah, it's almost like 1,400 kilometers smaller. It's relatively small. Yeah.
That's no.
Yes is the answer. All right. So continuing. Then the crew assignments for this are as follows. Xylos, for recon, as normal, get some extra thorough scans throughout as far as you can. Let's get a detailed surface map of the area between the dropship and the crash. Armilla.
On it.
This is still a survey mission primarily. So you'll be cataloging the local flora and fauna. Ensure that nothing's dangerous. As the most senior member of the crew going down, you'll be in charge. Just be sure to heed the advice of your specialists. He nods to Xylos and Cleon. Cleon.
Yes.
You'll be running threat assessment as per the usual. You'll be aided by Little Razor and Sova.
Understood.
Little Razor, the small kobold with red and cyan scales, steps up next to you with a gnarled, sinister grin. As ever, she is excited for action, gripping the metal bands on her knuckles, which threaten to erupt into a trio of phase blades, which she calls her claws at a moment's notice. Sovok, with his cobalt blue scales, decked out in heavy armor and gripping an energy shield, makes for an imposing figure. His plasma javelin strapped to his wrist via a thick carbon cable. Sovok remains calm as always, but you know, the moment battle starts, he'll spring into the same disconcerting ferocity as ever. Sticking to the dropship is Cherry. You'll be investigating the crystals and those jump fuel deposits, as well as any other valuable resources spotted by the survey. I think she'd probably just like step closer to the ship. She's a teal, so she's got like just bark skin. I think we'll leave as the description for the moment. Onzo, you know the drill? Onzo responds. Stay put. Protect dropship. You got it. Onzo, a Vatborn, stands just under 10 feet tall. His rough gray skin and heavily muscled form belies the calm within. One could be forgiven for not realizing he is still technically human. Strapped to his back sits a plasma launcher, and in his hands he holds a modified ship component, a grav rod, that has been transformed into a devastating weapon. Brady and Rylan will stick with you, Onzo. The humans clasp hands as if this is something new. Annoying as they can be, the twins work well together. With ear-length, wavy black hair and pale brown skin, they are often mistaken for each other despite not being identical twins. Brady specializes in laser weapons, and Rylan specializes in slug throwers. Finally, we have Lyric on standby at the dropship in case of injury. Lyric wears his dirty brown hair shaggy and unkempt. He somehow looks far older than he is, and exactly as old as he is. His white skin seems to have an uneven tan burned across his face and arms. A man who has seen more than his fair share of battle. He looks exhausted and is often all too happy to say as much. He wears his plain brown jacket over a simple armored jumpsuit, with a pistol and knife strapped to his hips. Suddenly, the drop bay doors swing open, and the newest member of the crew, Dr. Paneros Wobblestone, barges in. The elder gnome, clad in a lab coat clearly cut down to size, speaks firmly. Actually, if it isn't too much of an inconvenience, I'd like to go. Paneros stands firm, the lights of the room catching a silvery sheen in his ivory white hair that stands as stiff and tall as he does. He's got like that like gnome thing where his hair just like goes up. Captain Black responds, startled. Well, Doctor, But before he can finish his thought, Paneros' assistant stumbles in, overloaded with at least 4 duffel bags, shouting, Actually, it's Professor Wobblestone. The doctor responds with a hand wave. The doctor is fine, really. Captain Black continues. Doctor, I know you're entirely capable, but... the doctor cuts him off. Captain, sir, we both know why I'm here, and after 33 days of traveling, you can understand I'm a little anxious to actually get out there. Captain Black continues, You make a valid point, Doctor, but... Before he can finish his thought, he is interrupted again Interjecting with a loud yawn, Weirick sleepishly speaks. It's fine, Captain. I need a nap anyhow. Besides, we all know that Dr. Shortstuff here has been at this for at least 8 of my lifetimes. Don't get lost in the brush, little professor. Weirick pushes past the assistant and is gone before anyone can speak. Captain Black begins again, firmly and loudly this time. Right. Now that that's sorted. So Wobblestone, and he hesitantly continues, his assistant will take Weirick's place, and the next person to interrupt me today is on waste recycler duty for a week. Get to it. And he starts to head out the room. The assistant, like, dragging in these duffel bags.
Is the assistant coming, or just the doctor and his duffel bags? I guess we'll find out.
No, he did say the doctor and the assistant are coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's head out.
I think Cleon might say, are you planning on staying on the dropship directly to Paneros?
And unless I'm needed, sure. Maybe
Yep.
like, you know, a little bit of the area next to it. But yeah, I can stay near the dropship. That's probably fine. As they're like, he turns to help his assistant, and they're like dragging these duffel bags.
Cleon would just say, neither one of you leave the dropship without an armed escort, and just turn and walk away.
What's your passive perception?
21.
So you definitely hear the like rustle of cloth, and the doctor go, I wonder if I count as my own armed escort. And he looks at the pistol on his hip. Oh, it's not a pistol.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a taser.
Gotcha. Cleon won't react
Fair enough.
to that.
Is there anything anyone else wants to say or do before we climb into the dropship to get going?
Xylos really just gets into the dropship and starts. So you'll have noticed that there was this drone sort of constantly, as you'll have seen throughout the whole time on the ship as well, following him around or being around him, and he just sort of sits down on the dropship and starts fiddling with the drone.
Does it hover? Is it like flying, or is it
yeah.
crawl? Okay.
Yeah,
It's
little
a
hover.
sort of like hovering, sort of 3 head size,
Really?
sort
Okay.
of, yeah.
Yeah, roughly. I do have a question for Cleon, because this hadn't really been a thing that in characters ever come up before. How does Cleon feel about not being the largest person on the ship?
Oh, I don't think it would matter to him at all. I mean,
That's fair.
like large size wise, yeah, not at all. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
I
fair.
don't think so. Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm. All right, so all of you sort of climb onto the dropship. These like duffel bags have sort of been like locked in place in like a handful of empty spots where like crates would normally lock in, and they're sort of just like hooked in there. But if nobody has any questions about them, we'll continue.
What's in your duffel bags?
Oh, medical supplies.
You think we're going to need that many?
Well, no, but I figured I'd leave them on the dropship. In case we need them on the next mission, right?
Um,
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask real quick. Are we all speaking human or trade speak?
Trade speak, definitely.
Great.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
at another time, we'll need to go through them because we often need the room on the drop ship for equipment. So we need to make sure that the right things are in there. But we need to go now.
Is, is there plenty of room on the dropship, or is that a concern?
At this exact moment, it's not like you're going to be concerned about that. But if, I don't know, presumably you wanted to take back 5 crates of jump fuel or something, it could be a problem.
Right.
Is it reasonable to think that we could land, explore the dropship, run something back to the ship, and come back, and that's all just normal procedures?
Absolutely. So this particular dropship does have the ability to exit orbit. It also has like some minor maneuvering thrusters, but it wouldn't be particularly fast beyond launching off a planet.
Right.
And it does not have jump space capabilities, so there's no jump drive hooked into this thing. I guess the best way to put it is it's like somebody took a very large closet and put maneuvering rockets on it.
Okay.
And like a bunch of armoring on the outside so it can land and stuff. But you get the point. Anyway, the group piles into the dropship, which is well equipped with most of what they could need on any mission. From miles of cable to pry bars or extra ammo and batteries to vacuum suits and emergency rations. With no further delay, almost as if he wants to move on from this conversation, Anzo pulls the release and the dropship just drops out of the ship. The dropship plummets into the black above the dark world, the Jumpglider's edge, true to its name, appearing like a knife's edge against the void of space. In a blink, you're breaking into the atmosphere, the ship shaking. The professor struggles with his apparently slipped safety belt, but manages to secure it before you can move to help. As the ship falls, it shakes violently, whipping past trees 100 feet tall, eventually slamming into the ground in a shockingly less harsh landing than you'd have expected had you not done all this before. So this is going to be a very high DC, but can I have everyone make a perception check as you were sort of like peering out of the little windows on the drop ship?
Make sure you grab your breathers.
Mordetto did mention that.
I'm sorry, which check?
Perception check.
I don't know how I forgot that quick, but I did.
Man, I clicked mine and Motherships rolled, and I was like, yeah, I rolled a 24, but nope.
We've all got the same mod.
That's interesting. Doesn't your drone have a higher modifier? Your drone's not rolling right now. Just a question.
Yeah. It's got a slightly lower one, I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
No. It is too higher. Yes.
So it's slightly higher. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So you guys do see a lot of these like giant trees as you're zipping down. You also see a large number of these like huge crystals sort of like on the horizon as the ship as the dropship plummets. You also see as you're like passing the trees and sort of landing in this like small clearing, a number of smaller crystals sort of mixed amid the trees. But I think that's all you see. Let me get back to that. I accidentally clicked away. Everybody is down here.
We're here.
As the dropship just like lands down
and
sort of
spits us out, apparently.
Dents in the ground a little bit. You guys sort of like unbuckle and start to move out. Anzo, very like in his routine, like scoops up a bunch of crates and sets them out, flips them open. It's ammunition in case you guys don't have it, batteries and stuff like that, as well as there's multiple different lengths of cabling, i.e. rope for our parlance of fantasy. of like 50, 150, or sorry, 50, 100, 150, and 250 like different foot of length. So you guys can scoop up any extra ammo you might need. Most of the time, ammo won't be a problem as long as you have access to the dropship, which you currently do. So you scoop up whatever you can carry, which is going to be no more than 3 like full magazines for a weapon. And so if you have if you have 50 is your reload for a weapon, you can carry 150 rounds of ammo.
Okay.
They also everybody sort of files out. Go ahead, except Cherry, who is going to stay inside the jump ship for now. Go ahead.
As would be the sort of norm for me, would in this sort of situation, tell my drone to set off and fly up to above the tree line and do a circuit of about a 100-foot radius, and then come back down and share the view.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you can just zoom out because this is not a. Is this a restricted view one? I don't remember. You guys should be able to see pretty much the whole map right now.
I see darkness.
I see the whole map.
That's because you were the last token added, so I didn't give you vision.
Okay. Yeah.
The blue on everybody is their shield belt temporary hit points, which you don't have unless you roll initiative or use a bonus action. Anyway, so I imagine your drone gets if it's like out from you, like that's 100 feet. So
yeah.
If that's good, you could, or you could, say further. Either way, you get sort of like a gist of the.
Is starting off with just getting above the tree line and just a sort of circuit loop, just to get a rough idea of the immediate landing area.
Sure, absolutely.
Also like what the sort of terrain in the distance kind of like looks like, all that sort of stuff. Just in general, a view of.
Sure, you're definitely getting that general
terrain,
view
yeah.
After about 30 seconds of your drone like just scanning, so to speak, the area. Speaking of scanning, did you guys want to scan the area?
I was going to ask. I was going to say at the same time he's doing that, I guess I would use my standard recon scanner 2,
sure.
which is a 2-mile radius plus 1 bonus is all I have in the description. But I guess my interest is life signs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Tactical danger.
Sure.
Look for.
Give me. It should just be your scanner. You should be able to just make like a scanner roll. With that plus 1.
Can you tell your drone to look out for the ship that we're looking for specifically? Is that a thing you can do?
I can. I'll sort of after it comes back down from its sort of general tour, I can give it more specific instructions. But this is like 3 kilometers out, so might be able to like maybe if I tell it to go up as high as possible and try and see maybe damage in the tree lines, or any actual ships or structures that it's able to see from like 300 foot up.
Sure. So you just kind of want to send it 300. So it comes back to you, and you just after that send it 300 feet up, and it's just a general gist of what it can see. Even with 300 feet up, like it's like a thinner forest up there, but there's still like giant trees that are like shooting way up.
Oh wow!
So it's like sort of like sightline is a bit compromised, but you can give me a perception check for it. With your handheld scanner, Cleon, I believe that's technically a 21 because you get the plus 1.
It's built in, I think. I've got a plus 1 mod on that skill, so.
Okay, so then it should be built in there, yeah. Usually it does it separate. I don't know why it doesn't. Anyway, so you definitely like detect life, but not to be too much of a specifics kind of guy. There's so much of these like trees around that it's like this like organic life that it's like distorting your scans a bit. The only thing you can say for sure is that like there's a lot of life here, and occasionally it looks like some of it moves.
Okay.
But it's going to be really hard to track without like modifying or like modifying the scanner or like really analyzing the results, which is not something you're capable of doing. You specifically, it's not something you're capable of doing.
I think Cleon would at that point say out loud, "No tactical threats detected yet." And
fair enough. Certainly doesn't seem like anything's coming at you. 19. Okay, we'll come back to the drone. What are you doing? Armilla?
So looking at the map that we were given, can I tell what direction we need to head off in?
Oh, the map you were given is only like a deck plans for the ship that you're going to.
Oh, that's what we were given. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't given like detailed map of anything else.
Well, then I mean, I'm looking around at everything, and I am going to do my scanner to list, to get it to catalog the life forms that I do see, the plants, etc.
Sure. So you kind of want to.
All I see is plants and crystals, right?
At the moment, yeah. So do you kind of want to? You don't technically have to move for the range of your scanner, but it's more of a: are you going to examine the trees?
After I scan them, I'll examine them while I'm waiting for the response from the drone to see if the drone sees any, broken trees where a ship could have crashed through. So that's the order of things. First the scan, then actually going up to a tree and looking at it.
Sure. You want to give me your scanner?
I would love to, if I could figure it out. I was just looking for it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I found it just as I said it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Probably.
You're like poking at it. You're struggling to get it to work. There's like a mild electrical interference throughout the whole world, probably related to these giant silicate crystals. I don't think you have. You don't have the ability that would help with this yet. You get it later. You're like poking at your scanner. You're like, this does not seem to be functioning properly.
Okay.
Since you have sat back down, the drone does return with a 19. I will say you do. Your drone does like come back with like sort of as it's described, like it like pops up with like a little like projection screen and is like showing you sort of like a bunch of like broken trees in like the general direction the ship likely crashed, which in the terms of this screen, it is northwest.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a direction.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Did we already know where the crash ship was?
No.
Direction-wise?
Like,
okay.
I guess the answer is yes, but not necessarily in relation to your landing.
Right.
And my main question, and that kind of was the precursor, was actually like, does that corroborate, does that confirm, rather, that is probably the ship, what was just detected?
Yeah, that tracks with what you already knew.
Gotcha. Okay.
So with your low scan, did that make you want to go do a visual examination of the trees, mothership?
Yes.
No, pick a tree and step up. And give me a
Is
perception
anybody
check.
moving with her? Him? Them?
Technically
wouldn't.
all applicable and none applicable.
Right. Just if they're moving away from the party and no one is escorting them, Cleon will follow.
So imagine Armello
Oh my
goes
god.
up here, Cleon, like, 5-10 feet, like 10 feet back, sort of, giving the scientist room to science.
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to describe these trees is they look a lot like, for the sake of the players here, like earth trees if earth trees didn't need leaves. So
Wait. If earth trees didn't eat leaves?
need leaves.
Oh, need. Oh, God.
So it's just like, branches and bark.
Branches and
Bark.
bark. Oh, God.
Or like a bark-like substance with an 11 and an 8. You're not getting there. You can.
I know.
This is going to be very difficult with the information you've garnered. You do have the biology roll you could make to see if you can form any conclusions, but your DC has been increased significantly with a severe lack of information.
Yeah, just slightly, huh? Oh my goodness. I mean, I'll try, but somehow I don't think so.
I was going to ask if Cleon can perceive that they're struggling and know any, because he's actually proficient at biology. So.
Well, actually, you probably see me smacking my scanner.
I will say, because you're proficient in biology, and only because you're proficient in biology, you can give Armilla advantage on that. So Armilla, if you want, you can roll again.
Okay.
As Cleon is asking some, like, just beyond adept questions of biology to sort of spur on the situation and help you sort of understand a little bit. I think the first thing that you realize with a 25, and I'd say probably the only thing you realize, you're like, well, there's no way they're getting anything from like photosynthesis, because they're not in a region with sun with any regularity, if ever.
Can we? I'll wait.
No, go ahead.
So I'm gonna try again on my scanner and I don't know if this is a possibility for the scanner, to specifically look for water or some liquid that would nourish these plants. I don't know if I can specifically do that.
Sort of imagine that you're like sort of like programming the scanner, like telling it what to look for. I don't know if you're proficient in this, but even if you're not, computer use.
Yeah. I don't believe so.
And if you're not proficient, just give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
What are they trying to do? Cleon is proficient at computer science.
I mean, computer science is definitely adjacent to computer use, but computer use is like your actual use of the device versus, like your knowledge of a device.
He's also about to do another recon scan, so he might be distracted and not paying attention anymore.
I think that would technically be lower because you did a save as opposed to a check. So that and you're proficient, so it added your proficiency. So that would actually just be a 9. You're not having a good day.
No, I'm not.
And it's like, you don't know if it worked. You can go ahead and roll your scanner again and see if it gets you any information.
Okay.
Is Xylos doing anything?
So,
I feel like Xylos was reviewing the footage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's not your day.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll come back to Xylus in just a second. You're sort of like, okay, I got to step away from this. We have a mission to do. I'll come back to this.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Scott?
Xylus, like after like the sort of 300-foot and come down bit was done, would have started fiddling with his drone again, and sort of after a bit of fiddling about, just called out. Does anyone know one of the species that are like on the ship that we're looking for that might still be alive?
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out what the role for that would be. No role. Cleon, your position as tactical officer allows you to see the entire crew manifest. You are aware that roughly 3/4 of that crew is human.
Okay, I would answer the question, then let them know that. Assuming, I mean, Xylus just asked that out loud, right? So.
Yeah, I called while fiddling to, and okay, so you respond with human. Okay, I look around the group and sort of try and remind myself, wait, who's come down? Are there any humans that have come down with us?
Yeah, there are 2 humans, and technically 3, because Vaporin is still considered human.
Yeah, well, and I'm sort of near human, so I've not actually tried that. So
you could ask for one of the others, because he did say 3/4.
Yeah. Are there any? Yeah, are there any that aren't of a species you see here?
Elf. There was one elf that was registered as the navigator.
One elf.
Well, let's hope they're alive, and I'm gonna try. Although I'm not entirely sure this is how it works, but we'll sort of see if it does anyway. And I'll try and get my drone to do a scan for an elf creature within 5 miles.
Sort of like you sort of input the like standard like identified as elf genetic sequences and have your drone scan for that. Does the creature have to? Let me see. Well, I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold, please.
Yeah.
Find elf.
Yes.
Well, we've technically never used this spell.
And I also, out of character, I'm pretty sure that this is not the way that the spell is intended to use, but I think that my character would try and do it this way anyway.
It's the argument of we're all animals.
Yeah. Or I think the elf would be particularly offended by that.
Trying to figure out, given the recontextualization of everything, I think you would detect an elf about 3.1 kilometers northwest.
That away. Okay.
Toward the ship?
Toward the ship, yeah.
Good.
Awesome.
I think it would probably read as life signs questionable. Or unclear, or something to that effect.
Would I get the impression of this is not just a corpse then?
I feel like
unclear.
It's definitely unclear. Like, you don't know if it's the interference of the crystals or what have you. It's just unclear.
Weak life signs, elf life sign.
Yeah.
Signal of elf genetic material in that direction.
Right.
And so yeah, like the it'll sort of process and like do its sort of scan, system scan, and I guess sort of like a pointing hound, sort of point in that direction, and sort of I'll be able to sort of tell from it that the details of so about 3 kilometers that way, there's supposed to be an elf.
There
A bit unclear about what we're dealing with, but that seems to be where we thought the crash should have been taking place. So
elf that away. Status unclear.
Yeah.
Could Cleon run a scan and just try to pinpoint where he's talking about? So Cleon like has it on his radar as tactical, strategical.
By which method?
Hold a scanner, right? What's that?
By which method? I'm just confirming.
By the handheld scanner, the recon scanner. It's got a 2-mile radius. You said 3 kilometers. That should be, I think, within radius.
That's pretty
close. I go up and stand right next to Xylos and his scanner and just trying to make mine match his and see, is it right there?
Sure.
Just so we're all on the same page.
Give me a handheld scanner roll, please. This would be intelligence again. Or sorry, it would be the same as before. 13. You can definitely pinpoint the where that he's talking about, but you're not detecting that to be fair, even especially the recon scanner, like that's like a lot more wide. That's like the range is the thing, not the specifics. So
it's funny because really, it's I'm sort of asking for the wrong thing relative. I kind of just want to get the GPS coordinates. You know what I mean? Like I don't really need to do another scan.
Okay, you guys have now 4 fully confirmed. It's that way.
Gotcha.
4 fully confirmed. Pretty close to the exact location, and that should be easy enough to sort of triangulate the exact location. You see what I mean? So
yeah, no, I'm getting into the role too deep, but it's cool.
It's an yes you can, but not necessary to confirm it a 5th way.
Yeah. So who's staying with the ship? I think, or more the point, who's going?
That was someone's job. That was that.
Yeah, that's pretty well identified as who's staying. Yeah. Cherry, Anzo, Brady, Rylan, and the good doctor.
Right. And Aaron Sovic are under my command, basically. And so the more or less, 5 of us are going?
Yep, that's correct.
And we're staying at the drop ship.
Wyrick did not come down. The doctor replaced him. Wyrick's taking a nap.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That makes more sense than what I was thinking. Okay. Okay.
Xylos is going to tap his drone and sort of tell it to lead the way there, but stay within 15 feet of me. So, like,
makes sense.
It's constantly going to be like a kind of balloon tethered to me, trying to go off in that direction, as it were. But the more figurative tether.
Yeah. Absolutely. As you guys, what's up?
I never thought to ask before, but do we have like a technological means of communication as we split? You know what I mean?
As implied by the intro and saying you can radio for advice on demolitions, yeah, you have a radio. You have a means of radio communication. It is not a constantly open communications line, but you can comms up to the ship.
Well, with the dropship, because I was going to tell Brady and Rylan stay in touch with me.
Both?
You know what I mean, with Cleon.
You can radio either the dropship or the ship. You guys can radio each other. Awesome. It's unclear about, because there's talk of electrical interference. It's unclear if that's going to do anything to the radio communications.
Okay. I think knowing that, and I think that Cleon would know that. He would specifically say, I'm going to radio you, Brady, for every 5 minutes as we move apart. And if we lose contact, then we'll know. We'll learn from that. We'll learn the distance. And otherwise, stay in contact with me. If you need to leave, if something happens, I want to know immediately.
Right, no problem. And he's like, head on a swivel, like looking around.
Mm-hmm.
But has confirmed the order, And you guys can head northwest if you want.
Yes.
What do you say, boss?
Moving out.
Moving out. The boss says move on out. Getting y'all over here.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a... sorry. This is not working. I gotta move the tree.
Move a tree.
If it matters, I think I would put Sovak on point, Era at the caboose, and me basically right behind Sovak, then everybody else between us.
Between how? Are you talking like this? This would make more sense.
Zoom in.
Because Xylus is recon, it makes sense if he was further forward.
Oh, no, sure, yeah. I was gonna... yeah, I was just putting myself ahead of them because I thought of something else. Never mind. That's perfect.
Okay. All right. So let me do this.
Little razor.
He's going to disappear for a minute. And you guys probably walk for... so you guys continue northwest, passing through varying sizes of trees, all of which are like the size of, again, referencing for the sake of the players, like the size of large earth trees and larger. You don't like really see anything like the size of like a small sapling or anything. They're like huge trees. I want to say, I looked this up and I forgot to write it down. Like 45 feet in diameter and larger. And that's diameter for like the full branch length. Not the trunk length, trunk diameter, geez. So you guys continue onward, and unless you guys want to stop and examine some of these crystals, you guys just keep going. It's up to you guys.
Actually, I would like to examine a crystal, but I'm going to ask the favor of my group that we all scan it and see if we all come up with the same thing, because now I'm suspecting that my scanner is broken.
That's fair.
Sure.
Are you thinking of taking a crystal in isolation, or are you wanting to like get a cluster of crystals and you all sort of scan them?
I think just one crystal, because if there's several littler crystals, it might give different answers. So just one crystal.
All right, so everybody's up here getting ready to do crystal scans.
Okay.
That's just the handheld scanner.
See how we do.
Yeah, that'll just be a roll of your handheld scanner.
So I actually don't have the handheld scanner. What's the modifiers to handheld scanner?
Oh, now I keep doing.
I'm drawing a blank. Hold on.
Scott, I'll put something in Discord.
Cheers.
It's gonna come up in front of stream.
This goes in the tool proficiency and custom skills area, and you don't get the mods 1. That should just be 0 for you, but otherwise that's how mine.
Oh, it's just just a wisdom.
Yeah, usually wisdom. Sometimes it'll be other stuff. Okay, so 13, 26, 11, 18. So the 18 and the 16, sort of, it's especially that 26. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. You guys notice, let's do it this way. So, because the 26 got what the 18 got, so we'll start with what the 18 got. It seems as if these crystals are sort of absorbing ambient energy just around from like the cosmos itself, so to speak. It's sort of like absorbing background radiation and converting it to electricity.
Interesting.
And then the 26 got that the trees are feeding off of that energy.
Ah.
This is technically supposed to be there. That's the information you guys sort of got from this, and I think with that 26, you got that. It seems as if there's an entire sort of network, almost of like crystalline roots that go beneath into the planet itself, and it goes even beyond the range of your scanner as you're sort of like detecting these quote crystalline roots.
It's just one organism.
So they're
Seems potentially
electronic crystalline plants.
I mean, I think Cleon would say to Armilla, is it just one organism?
Unclear, but the ones in the immediate radius are certainly connected.
I think out of character, I'm starting to feel a little bit of this connection between Armilla and Cleon, just on, you know, they have some shared stuff, so.
Shared interest?
I feel, yeah, like the biology and you know, whatnot, and I feel like that's something to build on, so.
Sure.
Hopefully.
Sovok and Little Razor, much in their fashion, and this is like Sovok pulls out his scanner and he's like, battery is dead. Little Razor's like, I didn't bring it.
Of course.
Which is very like par for the course for the both of them. Like nobody's surprised.
Yep.
Cleon might take note and ask them next time, did you bring your scanner before?
Oh,
they
that's
leave?
fair. Did you charge your scanner?
Yeah.
I will say, Xylos, you sort of like feel like a strange itch in your brain. It's pretty consistent.
Well, that's not where you want to feel an itch.
Oh, trust me, I know. It's definitely like it's distinct, but it's not severe. It's not like super bad or anything. And
it's like a buzz.
It's like an itch. But it's up to you if you want to say anything. It's just it's mild. It's just strange.
I won't say anything. I guess what was it? Cleon had also high passive perception, so would notice Xylos every now and then doing the sort of like just little neck twitches of like trying to sort of imaginary scratch that itch. But aside from that, that's
yeah, fair enough.
all that'll be.
Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna roll a perception.
Sure.
Do we all know that Xylos has like a psychic psionic thing, or is that I forget entirely?
That is not Xylos.
Gotcha. Okay.
That is Murdetto.
That's the
Murdetto. I was gonna say the
pilot. Yeah. I will say that I will give you this only because you were actively examining the crystal and looking at the scanner, and like you were a bit more heightened and sort of looking around. I imagine you turn and you're like trailing the scanner, like tracing the roots a little bit, and that's when you notice out of the corner of your eye, Xylos is sort of being a little twitchy.
That's what I was checking.
So you do notice. Does anything come of that, or shall we continue northwest?
You having a seizure or what?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. It's something just feels weird. Yeah, like I think let's carry on, shall we? Yeah.
Just pay attention to it, as in the smallest
Scan
thing can be
Xylos.
important.
Do you have
Right?
a parasite?
Okay.
All right. So we will. Well, you guys vanish from sight. So as you guys continue.
Oh no,
north,
the edge is so bad I can't see.
as you guys continue northwest, I'd say you probably continue for. Well, that was probably like a quarter of a kilometer. That's all you moved before you stopped and examined that crystal and got the little bit the information. I mean, it was good information, right? But it wasn't a lot of information. You guys sort of continued northwest. As you guys are continuing, you guys are definitely sort of keeping an eye out. Are you guys consistently like checking your scanners as you go? Like, what are you doing?
Xylos,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like between himself and on the scanner and the drone, it's kind of his job. So
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And it again, Cleon is primarily focused on danger threat assessment. So he's scanning for life signs and threat assessment more than anything.
Sure,
Specifically, I should say.
So, as I look, is this world basically just the trees and the crystals? There's no other real plants or anything?
You absolutely have not seen anything else. There's a little bit of like this strange, almost like grass-like brush, but it's like rough. It's much shorter than you like very small grass-like substance, and it seems to be in the same vein, like sort of living and subsisting off the crystals, absorbing this like background radiation, as it were. Can I get everybody to give me the scanner check? And well, everybody who's looking at their scanner. Excuse me. Well, that makes sense. So, the 26, you detect movement around you. It seems to be relatively near, above you. There's a handful of roughly medium-sized shapes. They seem to be moving through the trees. And they are sort of around you and moving in like conjunction with you guys.
Okay. So I'm going to just kind of slide over to. I almost said the wrong name. Okay, Atos, but not.
Wrong game. You're
I know. God,
wrong game, wrong person. Merlin, you want to talk to Merlin?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I just kind of slide over to him and say, "There's something moving above us."
Okay. How would I run another scan?
You could look for one. You could look at her scanner and see it. You could also like visually look around and see if you can see it.
I would do all of that.
Well, I wouldn't want to be too obvious, so that's why I kind of,
Yeah. Well, I won't look long, and I don't have to look long, so I can just kind of glance at your scanner, and then I don't know. Like I'm proficient in investigation and perception. I don't know that I would actively say I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna look around. That's what I've said I'm going to do. I guess that's what I'm trying.
It's pretty based on the scan. You're not that surprised that you didn't notice. It's much higher up in the trees than you would have initially thought to look. Right. So it's not like 15 feet up. It's not like 30 feet up. It's like 70 feet up. But it does seem, looking at her scanner, especially as she started showing you, it looks like these forms are like moving down and closer to you. As you look up and you see these like roughly humanoid shaped insectoid creatures like clinging onto the trees and like leaping from tree to tree, following you guys and getting closer and closer. What do you guys want to do?
Okay. Is there anything indicating that they're, a threat? I mean, obviously they are, but like, are they aggressive? Is it obvious? Is there any way to tell?
I mean, it could be curious.
Give me an insight check, I suppose. That's about all you could potentially do. They seem on edge at the least.
Leon would say, let's keep moving.
So, like, best case scenario, they aren't currently aggressive, but could become aggressive if you make the wrong move.
Yeah, Cleon would, like, say, let's keep moving, and then just keep everybody going, and maybe even faster.
Yeah.
As you guys...
do you bring that to the attention of the rest of the party, or just say, let's push on up the pace sort of thing?
I think literally just say, everybody keep going a little faster, and might even, push the people further, push it. So it's like, I am making it clear to everybody, let's move, and let's keep moving.
Sure.
Back up the pace.
I will say that they do seem to be faster than you guys, and they start to outpace you. And eventually it comes to the point where they are now moving parallel with you, about 30 feet above, and all of you can hear them. Like this like uncomfortable, like chittering. But they aren't moving closer than 30 feet at this particular moment. I say 30 feet. Let me, just for the sake of map here. About 30 feet. So imagine, you guys can see here, you guys are here, they're like in these trees, like just hanging out. And they move as you move. And I don't know if you do this, but I will say, if you guys slow down, they slow down.
That was going to be my next question.
They're very clearly keeping pace with you guys. I will say, with your passive perception, you hear like a thunk, like heavy thunks from the north, like direct north. And one of these entities, a much larger one, leaps down
in front of us.
Yeah,
sort of like the direction we were going.
You'll see in just a brief moment.
Okay.
If I can get tokens to work properly. Leaps down in front of you guys. And with two smaller of these creatures behind it, and it loses this like chittering roar and takes one step forward. What do you guys do?
Cleon would take point, you know what I mean? He would make sure the entire party's behind him. Not aggressively. I think he would not even draw his weapon, but just I guess I can take control and...
Yeah, you guys should be able to move yourselves, no problem.
Yeah, like, my first thing would be to sort of slow down and back up behind him as well.
Just try to move somebody else. I'm like, why won't it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, not really closing distance, just making sure Cleon is at the front. I don't think he would necessarily even direct anybody behind him, so everybody would just do whatever they think is right, I guess.
So you step forward, but sort of in front of your party, but not closer to it.
Right.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So as you like move in front of your party, it takes a step forward as well. And this time, like when it roars, like this like acidic substance like starts to drip from its mouth and sear the like grass stuff on the ground. What are you gonna do?
Man, should I just go with the first thing I thought? I think that's probably best. Like, and I thought of a couple different things, but like my first instinct on that would be to try maybe take a step back, push Selvek a step back, and stop, and just not make any noise or actions, and see what it does in reaction to that. Who knows?
Sure.
Maybe that's very threatening to it, but that's...
Sure. Why don't you give me an animal handling roll? As you
come
push
on,
Selvek
nat 20.
back. That didn't work.
Bah.
It
Hold on. Hold on. I might be able to use a reaction. I'm going. Okay, I don't know if this will. But I'll try doing this. And sort of as a reaction, I say, "Oh no, like this."
yes.
So what's your intelligence?
My that's a +4. So I mean, it's still
So
not
14.
super, but yeah.
14.
14
So
is better than a 10.
So you sort of step back, and then especially with the aid of Xylos here, sort of like try and make yourself smaller, but it does not take kindly to that, and immediately jumps on you. So it's going to make some attacks, and then we're going to roll initiative.
Okay, since I already had my scanner out, I was kind of like scanning and recording.
Okay.
Because that is a species of this planet, so.
Sure, give me a roll. This could, like, he's still getting hit, but that could
Oh, yeah.
come in handy.
That's fine.
19 and 12.
They both miss if it's their... Yeah, I got a 20 AC.
Fair enough.
Dodge right,
18.
dodge left.
Better
So
than the rocks.
one thing that you managed to identify on this entity is that, and it's up to you. You can say this aloud if you want. Well, they definitely have acid glands in their necks.
Oh, gee, thanks. I think I figured that out.
Anything else that you could get is lost as this thing leaps forward. Everybody roll initiative, please.
Oh, I don't get like what kind of a carapace it has or anything. Okay.
Well, I mean, you do get that it has like this insectoid carapace, yes, but I think you pretty well assumed that.
Well, yeah, anyway, I was hoping for a little more detail, like, is it rock? Is it, but anyway.
Oh, it's definitely organic. It's pretty much exactly what you think it is, but, I guess a monkey-shaped bug.
Couple
I just almost clicked death saves instead of initiative.
My character has a 20 in the blue bubble already. I didn't put it there.
No, I put it there. I said that at the beginning. Everybody's, well, not in the beginning, but when we landed, 20 is the shield belt. Unless your shield belt would be higher, in which case that's my mistake.
Okay, no. Yeah, mine would be lower, actually. I have the lowest one, I think, so it's 10.
Fair enough.
Normally, and then I was going to say I activate that, but
It's
so
automatic.
That 20 should be 10 instead?
Yeah, it should be 10. It automatically activates when initiative is rolled.
Oh, cool. I didn't know it was...
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought we had to say it.
I like that.
That's cool.
It's or a bonus action, so you can reactivate it if it goes down. Okay.
Yes. What I'm picturing here that we're up against is, the grasshopper in Bug's Life? Like the Fallout version of that.
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
Maybe a little broader, but yeah, more or less.
Oh, God, you said Fallout.
It does, at least initially, it doesn't seem like the ones on the trees are joining this fight. They're staying back. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad.
Maybe they are gathering
Foreboding.
information of our weaknesses.
Right. Oh man, that's scary.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, Sovok is first. Which I think Sovok just leaps into action. What happened here? He got moved around. He steps forward, and he's gonna just like ignite his plasma javelin and stab at it twice. It is a hit and a miss, I think. Where are you? That is correct. Okay, so that is 10 fire damage. And the rest of the stuff doesn't really come into play, so that's it for him. Alright, this is this one back here. It's going to it's here. It's going to rear back and spew a bunch of acid in this 40-foot line here. Let me make that a little bit more of a way you guys can see it easier, like this. So that's Xylos, Armilla, and Sovok. I'll need to make a dexterity save.
Nope.
All right, Armilla succeeds. The other two of you are coated in like this sticky acid. You don't take any damage now, but you will at the start of each of your turns. All right. That's that guy's turn. Ooh, Little Razor is kicking into action. She's going to... It's a bonus action, right? She's very quick. That's it. All right. She moves to... She's pretty well thinking you guys have that covered. I gotta check the... I think she moves to here. Let me check distances. Is that 15 feet? Okay, so she does it here. She uses her bonus action to unleash a draconic cry, which gives herself and allies within 10 feet of her advantage on their attack rolls they make against targets that could hear her, which is well, all of them. So until the end of their next turn. So that's Sovok, Cleon. She would have done it strategically, so she would have gone here. Which so Sovok, Cleon, and Xylos, and Armilla.
What bonus does that give us? Or...
advantage on your... It's basically advantage on your attack rolls next turn.
all of them? Nice.
Yep. That's what she's got 2 of those left. So she's got advantage. She runs up to this guy and 1, 2, 3. Wow. Yay, advantage. That would have been 2 1s. Just just like tearing into this thing with these claws made of energy. So that's going to be 3 hits. Oh, it's definitely fire. 29. That's her turn. Armilla, it's your go. Especially now, you don't need to relay the acid glance after it spit acid.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You can still do it. It'd be funny.
Well, they've got acid glance.
I have a brain issue here.
I feel that.
I don't like the idea of the first time we meet a species on a planet attacking it, or it, It's not a good start
We're
to our
kind of surrounded
reputation
by
here, is my
They're
point.
attacking us.
It's a lot to
But-
say from a
Certainly.
talking Chantarelma.
This first
But-
contact is going terrible.
But we have to get to the ones that are in the ship. So I guess I'm going to have to shoot at it, even though I don't like the idea in my little brain. So, yeah.
With your species, simultaneously, your entire body and none of your body is brain.
Shut up.
Oh
Okay.
no, that means you can stub your brain on the sofa.
Technically, you do have advantage because she did that thing.
Yeah. If I use it. I'm just kidding.
That just means you roll at advantage. So were you hitting the big guy or the little guy?
There's more than one?
There's 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big guy and 2 little
This
guys.
one right here is the only one I am really noticing.
Sure. Did you want to
So,
roll with
yeah.
that advantage? Just roll again to see if you crit or no?
Yeah, I will. I just got to get back to my sheet.
Do you want a token for your drone?
I just realized it would probably be a good idea, but there we go. We've got a little doodle.
You hit him for 20 radiant. With your passive perception, Cleon, you see that it sort of winces away from the light of the laser.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, actually.
Do you want to do anything else, Mothership?
No, not with my little personality. They're my little buffer zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying right here.
For sure. Xylos.
All right, so gonna tell my drone to go ahead and shield Cleon, giving him.
Oh. Something just struck me. You have dynamic shielding, which stacks with temporary hit points, so you technically have more than 20 because of dynamic shielding. It would be what, 26?
Yes, 26, and there's some other little bits and bobs as well. But,
Funnily enough, Mothership has something similar.
Yeah.
I'll have to see what that number is while you figure out what else you're doing. So, little drone is shielding Cleon.
Assigned to Cleon.
What is that, like a bonus AC?
It's basically before your temporary hit points go down at all. There's also an additional 9 temporary hit points that are sort of like
Separate.
supersede that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just gives
Maybe
you that.
glow.
Hmm?
Am I shimmering? Am I glowing now with this shield around?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, a bit of the sort of typical sort of sci-fi sort of shield bubbling sort of stuff being projected from the drone that's kind of behind you at the moment.
Nice.
And going to move over and Ba-ba-ba.
Oh,
For
oops.
now,
So sorry.
oh sure. For now, I'm just going to take a shot with my laser pistol
Oh,
at the big thing and presumably miss.
yeah, that's unfortunately a miss.
Yeah. And
I don't think you have extra attack or
then
anything.
move a bit further away, I think. Yeah.
Mhm. Sort of
And
away
that'll be
from
my
the
turn.
trees that are infested with these things.
Yeah.
They're just sort of
One
like
might hope,
chittering and
yeah.
shouting at you guys, like
Yeah.
maybe a bit harsher. All right, Cleon.
Cleon's gonna draw his arc blade. It's changed the name on me here, and I don't remember what it was originally called, but his force blade. And move around here, saying, moving to flank, and now from here, I'm going to use lightning lure on this guy, the little one next to Little Razor.
Oh, pause.
He used to make this. Okay.
Xylos, you took some damage from the acid.
Oh, right, yes.
9 acid damage, as it's sort of like burning into your
9.
arm and your shoulder. Carry on. You're gonna lightning lure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of like say moving to flank, and then move to where I'm at, and then point, at this guy, and a lightning kind of connects between me and him, the guy by Little Razor, and he needs to make a DC 17 strength save.
Ooh, that's a failure.
So he failed. So he's moved right next to me, I guess, and takes 2d8,
Roll it.
which I think turns out to be 2 damage because that's what it rolled. Yeah, 2-1. So minimum damage. So he takes 2 damage from that.
Ooh, unfortunate.
But it was flashy. And after that, because of war magic,
Nice.
after casting a cantrip, so I'll spend my bonus action and two-handed grasp my my force blade and attack the big guy with flanking.
Oh crap! You have advantage, and so did Xylos. We'll have to have Xylos do that
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because of
Wow.
Little Razor. You
25.
hit.
We'll see how this works.
It's a miss, anyways. Unfortunately.
I'm consistent.
So in this situation, I have great weapon fighting, and any 1s or 2s I roll, I'm supposed to be able to re-roll.
No
I think it
ones
would
or
only apply to the
twos.
slashing. Yeah, and I think it would only apply to the slashing. Is that correct?
I think it applied to both. It would apply to both, given the context.
Okay.
But that is 19 damage. Not bad.
Yeah, two-handed light blade, light force blade, slicing in.
That's the
And I think
that's the
starts with an A.
Aslefian
Something.
force
Mhm.
force blade. Yeah.
Sounds right. And roll 20 just keeps changing on me because I started it as a longsword, and I just renamed it.
Man's is being
I
stubborn.
think that's me. By the way, I think that's bonus movement action. So
Okay.
I even spoke.
Well, now you're surrounded. So +2, 22, and 8. Pretty sure 22 hits you. Leon.
Yes. AC 20.
8 slashing, which just gets torn out of that like shield barrier being produced by this little drone right here, which is going to move up here.
Not just that, but also while the drone is assigned to you, you get -1 to any damage that you take.
Well, you didn't take
Okay.
any damage. It all went to the drone, but good to know.
Yeah.
The drone technically doesn't
Yeah.
take up a space. It's a little guy. He's just floating there. Just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
All right, this guy.
So none got through to my temp HP either.
Correct. But since you just hit him like real hard, he's gonna whirl around.
Mm-hmm. I figured. Good.
24, 26, or 28.
How about I'm gonna react with a shield on the first hit to make my AC 25. So I just put my forehand up as he starts to strike at me, and my whole body is bubbled with a shield spell.
Bubbles on bubbles on shield belt. That puts you at 25, right?
Yes, so the second one actually still hits, but I think that negates the first hit.
It does.
Right. Okay.
Wait, is that correct? Hold on. I gotta make sure the damage isn't wrong. It's not wrong. He just rolled a bunch of ones. 1, 2, 1. So 1 damage from the last of the drone, and then 8 damage reduced to 7, reduced to because of your armor.
Right.
You're doing you've got heavy armor with no augments.
+1. So it's 1 augment.
Did you happen to write down the actual damage reduction? Because it'd be very helpful if we just had like everybody's total damage reduction written.
I have it open. So it would be 4 damage reduction, at least. Well, 4 plus the augment, so 5 damage reduction, and 2 minus, so 1 is the least damage.
Okay, so right now you would be taking 2 damage to your shields.
Okay.
All right. Over to Sovok, who starts his turn. He's going to take the 11 acid damage. Oh, so sorry. Because that was melee damage. 1 goes to your shields and 1 goes to your hit points.
Okay.
And Sovok is going to. Well, that damage reduction would have applied to the acid damage as well for Xylos. I'm realizing. This guy's damage reduction is. There it is. Okay. He's going to stab twice. It's 1 hit. 15. All right, this guy that you pulled. Looking a little rough. Oh, this guy's not been hit. What's this? It's going to whirl around because you yoinked him and hit you twice.
Oh.
That's a miss and a hit. A crit. That's a miss and a crit, actually. That's over on Leon. So that is going to be quick maths. 14. That 14
You know
is
what?
well. It's a
Never.
it's a natural 20. So
Yeah.
So 14 reduced by 5. So that's 9 damage. So that's going to be divided between your health and your shields because it's melee. So 4 to your health and 4 to your shields.
Okay.
This is turn. Razor moves up here. She's just gonna tear into him. No advantage, so just the 26. 16 and 20. Those will all hit. Uh, 18, 27. Well, he's really hurting. Over to Armilla.
Yo. Well, that big guy is still standing there.
Or do we?
So we're just going to have to shoot at him again. How long do I have the advantage?
Oh, it's gone.
Okay.
Is this Armilla's first turn since the cry went off? Oh no, never mind. It would have probably it's full circle.
Big guy, that's a hit. 12 damage. Anything else? Or is that it for you?
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Fair enough. Xylos. When does your shield drone regen its shield? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen during this. Yes, 10 minutes.
Okay, so probably for the next fight.
Yeah, indeed.
Presuming there's a next fight.
So yeah, at the moment it's sort of it's kind of like trying to sort of charge up that shield, but all it's able to do is like diminish 1 damage each time there's an attack.
It's still pretty useful.
Yeah, and going to shuffle up here and just
acid damage.
Oh yes, acid.
10
damage.
acid, which is reduced by your armor.
Oh right, yes. Which is I think what 3? Because leather with 2 mod.
Correct. No. 4.
No. 4.
Because clothing is 1. Light armor is 2. Yeah. Well, let's and let's not dwell on it too much right
6, now. But I didn't do it last time, so to sort of make it all make sense.
Fair enough.
I'll just do a. Oh, hold on. Wait, no, that's on my health. Although, should this be on health or shield?
No, I think contextually it's like clinging to the shields because the shield belts is like a just above the skin type of shield, as opposed to a bubble like the one your drone generates. We'll make sure everybody's damage reduction is like in a place that's easy to find because it's going to be referenced a lot. But let's not dwell on it now. Carry on.
And okay, so done that, and yeah, I think I'm just going to shall I take a little? Yeah, actually, let's hold on. Where was I? I was 20 feet down here. Let's let's reread the range on this thing. Oh darn it! I don't have the range on it. The taser, the wide form taser. What's the range on that? That's
Wide form taser is just a 30-foot cone.
30-foot cone. Yes, couldn't
Mhm.
remember if it was 15 or 30. Okay,
So
that's
you might be a bit tricky
absolutely fine and easy.
in this
And
context.
yeah, it's going to try and go here and because it's what, like 3 targets in a 30-foot cone or something. Hold on, it'll be easier if I just click it.
It's just everyone.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it just everyone?
I don't know. You can
Okay.
differentiate.
I think I had previously read the wrong one.
Yeah, not sure what
Shall
you
I
were
do it
thinking
anyway?
of.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna move up here and laser shoot the guy north of the mall. 18.
Got him.
Yeah, going at this one.
9 damage.
All right, lovely, and that's me.
All right. Cleon.
Was that was radiant damage, right?
Mhm.
You said I noticed in the beginning on the first round of battle that radiant damage seemed to hurt the big guy, right?
No, that the flash of light like made them wince a little bit.
Oh, so it's just they just winced from it. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and they all seem to
Um,
wince whenever the like bright laser goes off.
Okay.
Not just the big guy.
I think Cleon is going to. Well, can I quickly assess who looks worse, the guy between me and Little Razor, or the big guy?
No, the guy between you and Little Razor. With your 21 perception, what is your passive insight? We talked about this.
Well, that's a passive investigation. Actually, not passive. I have passive investigation,
Oh,
passive wisdom, perception.
well, still, what's your
Investigation.
insight modifier?
The inside, well, +5.
So
I mean, it's
15.
+6 total.
The 16 for insight. Sorry,
Yes,
6 for
I
insight. Oh
guess.
my god.
Correct. Yes, 6. Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so passive insight would be 6 plus 10, so 16. I feel like that's enough to see that this guy is like on the verge. He's clearly gonna run away. He's like turned and not even looking at you, like looking for like a tree to jump in.
Gotcha. Okay. Leon's gonna notice that and say out loud, "Bright lights affect them," and then attack the little guy two-handed. Swing.
The one that's
No
getting ready
advantage,
to
right?
run.
This one
Yeah.
between me and Little Razor. So that's
I'm
a
just
15 because of flank.
being clear as to which one you're
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Okay. He'll attack again. Same one. 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's gonna be. Looks like I can re-roll that 1 or 2. No, that's a plus. So I just re-roll the 1.
Yeah, just re-roll the 1. I just roll a d10.
Oh, is it a 10?
You're using it two-handed, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's a d10.
Okay. So that would be 11 and 5 force.
You
11
drop
slashing,
him.
5 force.
And it's sort of like this defeated, deflated, like as it collapses to the ground.
Nice. And my shield dropped. The shield spell dropped at the start of my turn. Just announcing that. Okay, that's my 2 attacks. Don't really think I got a bonus to make any use of, so I think I'm done. Yeah, Cleon's done.
Fair enough. All right, this guy's gonna attack you twice and miss twice. Big guy's gonna try and wail on you. Miss and hit. 10 slashing.
Yes.
So with your reduction, that's 5 slashing, which should just be 2 from
And
your.
also- And also -1 from the drone.
No, that's included because this is 4 plus the 1
okay,
from
you
the drone.
you did
Yeah,
that.
so -2
So it's 5
health.
each.
No, it's
It's 5 split.
It's split.
-4, -1. Yeah.
So it's basically -2 from health, -2 from shields.
Gotcha.
And if they could consistently hit you,
Hey, they're
might be
hitting
more
me.
of a problem.
They're just. I got all these fancy shields. These things just bugs crawling on trees.
That's true.
Next time we gotta bring the raid. I don't say that anywhere near Armilla.
One, 2. Both hits. 27. That's pretty good damage. Little Razor is gonna zoop up to this guy. Because of the flanking, all our hits. 30 damage.
Ooh.
Scary. All right, over to Armilla.
Well. We're just gonna have to shoot that guy one more time. He needs to not be standing no more.
Oh, you really believe that very strongly.
Put everything into that laser shot.
Yeah. Happy hit. I assume you're staying where you are, so over to Xylos as this acid burns you again. So 6 minus the damage reduction of 4, so 2.
Wonderful. And going to just shoot the wee one again.
Sure.
For a solid miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
All right. Yep.
Over to Cleon.
I think I'm gonna focus on the big guy.
Whoops.
So I'll just bring my force blade down on him two-handed. And 22 actually to hit. Or 3. 23.
Yeah, that'll
with
hit.
with flanking. Looks like 13 slashing and 2. Do I reroll the force? 1 or 2?
Yeah.
So 13 slashing, 4 forced, 17 total.
Yeah, still standing, but looking a little on the rough side.
I will swing again. 20 total to hit.
Yes.
And we've got, it looks like, yeah, I'll reroll the slashing. Oh. Make that 10 slashing and 3 force for 13 total.
Yeah.
No bonus, no commentary, no movement. That's Cleon.
All right. The guy between Little Razor and Cleon is going to turn and attempt to run. She was not told otherwise, so she's going to slash at it as it goes. And hit. What about you? Are you going to slash at it too?
Yeah. Yes,
like
I will.
Backhand as it runs by.
Mm-hmm. 19.
That'll hit.
Flee from us. So I gotta reroll both of those.
Yeah.
We'll make that 12 slashing. Oh. And 5 force. 17 total.
You dropped him. Oh, big man's trying to run too.
Emotionless.
So he runs over to
Really?
Here, and only Sovok has the attack of opportunity because you guys don't have reactions because he used them.
I didn't think the big guy would run. He started it.
19's a hit. I mean, it's pretty easy to start something when you think you're going to win.
True.
So like mid-run, he turns. That's the wrong guy. And he's going to spit a glob of acid at Cleon. This is a dex save.
I deserve it. Dex save. Okay, not it. Never mind.
Oh, wow.
Saw it coming.
Yeah.
You just sidestep it. It like hits the drone but drips off because the drone's pretty much immune to all damage. And he gets to hear it. And that's his turn. Sovok says, no, absolutely not. Hits him.
Nice.
And he's going to do that 12 fire damage and use forgo his second attack to instead yank him, which is a contested. Successfully 15 feet this way. It just like grabs the cable and yanks him. That is the end of his turn. Little Razor is going to clean house. Yeah, she drops the thing. Which as it sort of like burbles and collapses to the ground, you hear like a sort of a chittering screech from all around you, and then all of these like monkey insects start to back away and fade into the tree line. So they appear to be gone. Sovok takes 3d4 from that acid, and then at this, and then he's got 2 more. Start of his next turn, he takes 3d4 again. We'll get to you in a second. And oops. Then he just like wipes it off, gets rid of it. And then Xylos, you take 3d4, and then you can wipe it off.
Yeah.
So 10, so minus the 4, 6. and clear that out. Well, that little encounter has concluded.
I'll tell my drone to come back to me and sort of start inspecting it for damage and just making sure that it's all in still proper working order.
Sure. Armilla, would you like to scan the corpses before you guys continue northwest? You guys are a little over halfway there.
Absolutely. Need to do my cataloging job.
Was Xylus hurt, damaged from acid?
Just on the shield.
Was it? So you took no health damage?
No health.
I don't
Correct.
think anybody took damage, like health
No.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so even Little Razor and Savik?
Yeah, they seem to be good.
Okay.
We
Just
forgot to
Leon.
do
Oh wait, someone.
something.
Oh, something.
We'll have to do it next fight for the thing, but
If I had a quarter for every time I forgot to do something,
Yeah.
I'd be rich.
And yes, I'll be getting my drone's shield recharging again, and
for sure.
Yeah. Stuff.
And we'll have Armilla sort of just as everybody takes a breath, not a full rest, but a breath.
Yeah.
We'll have you take 10, and you can just do a biology check on these things to sort of get them cataloged, right? You sort of jot them down, and technically you get to name them, but might be something to think on. Potentially, while we break for lunch for about 10 to 15 minutes, I assume. And when we get back, we'll be wrapping the first half of this job up. So, yeah. Be sure to get you guys yourselves some food, some beverages, and we will hopefully be back before too long. Enjoy the music that'll be starting soon. Yeah, I'm hopping up.
Yeah. And yeah, like one quick question, if you're
What's up?
able to hear me still. Yeah. I didn't have the handheld scanner in. That's a tool that we're proficient in, correct?
It requires proficiency. If you didn't take the proficiency, you can still use it. You just don't add your proficiency.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't take proficiency in that itself.
I imagine because you use your drone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, need
But
this.
I've,
Throw it in
because
the
of
bin.
the class, I can get half proficiency in it anyway.
Okay. True. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Alrighty, I am back. How about you guys?
I'm here.
I am here.
Okay.
Looks like I'm here too.
Let's see. Hush that up. Okay, as we get back to it. Question for you guys. Is there anything you guys do specifically as Armilla takes the moment to scan these creatures? And by moment, I mean 10 minutes.
With the scanner.
Yes, you're sort of there scanning them, and that's, you don't have to roll for that because you already did the other, because we did the take 10 minutes thing. So you're sort of doing that, and I'm asking if they're doing anything in that meantime.
Okay.
In the meantime.
Maybe just assist, scan as well after, scanning for life forms or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, I think at this point, after combat, it would just be better to assist.
I feel like Cleon would spend like 3 minutes making sure they're gone and then going and helping Armilla out of,
Right.
Vague interest.
Right.
Or maybe genuine, complete interest, but you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you?
Xylos will...
No, go ahead. I was asking what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Xylos will tell the drone to go and just make sure there's nothing in the trees left.
Sure.
So like to go up sort of decent height. In these sorts of trees, like decent height could be incredibly high. So like no more than 100 foot high, and
Sure.
just to make sure that there's nothing sort of lurking and watching.
Strictly high or out?
More out, like with a sort of maximum height of about 100 foot.
So basically spend like a minute sort of circling the area, making sure there's nothing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like all of these creatures have sort of vacated premises as if it was sort of like a...
Test.
Yeah, are these things like we need to worry about? Are they food? Are they... And
Sure.
at the minimum, we'll leave them alone. At least for now.
Yeah, we might be in their territory, and they were just testing to
Sure.
see how much of a threat we were to their territory, and if we just keep moving,
Right.
it'll be fine.
Speaking of, give me a drone perception. Hope you had a question.
No, it would have been a follow-up after that. And I don't have it's my +8. I don't have a prepped thing for the drone's perception.
16. It does seem like they're moving towards the significantly larger trees, but they're beyond the drone's like radius it was told to go to. So it seems whatever these entities are, these little buggy ape creatures, they're like moving towards the very, very like hundreds of feet tall trees.
And when I sort of have my drone show me what it just saw, does it look like those creatures are still like moving further away, or sort of like just sort of being a more expanded radius around us, or
It seems like they're specifically going away from you to the big trees, as opposed to going a
Okay.
little ways and then taking up position. They're like going to locations.
Gotcha, lovely. And then after sort of verifying that, I'll tell the drone just to have a good look at the corpses, and then that's enough.
You know, video recording of the corpses. This has not really been discussed,
like,
but because
not for my...
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, not for myself, but so that if someone wants to review it later, they can.
We could probably take the bodies back with us if we want to.
Oh, maybe on the way back.
Samples is really what I meant, not the whole bodies. It's just samples is really what.
We haven't really discussed this, but it's more than feasible that you just have like little data storage devices you're storing the video from your drone on. We should probably discuss a limit to that, like what's feasible. But just like for the time being, is just like a sort of a general rule. If you want, you can sort of store a little bit of the recorded footage from your drone onto a device, because I know your drone's got a listed limit.
Yeah, like 24 hours, sort of like a rolling sort of CCTV footage sort of style deal.
Yeah, and then it like starts to record over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And archive it.
But I guess so. Like, say it would be reasonable enough to assume that we have like equivalent to like USBs that can sort of store like 5 minutes of footage on.
Oh, at the least, yeah. Like probably you know, more than that, but to Merlin's statement, that's kind of what we're talking about, is that he would have to archive it, and we're just saying that like he has the means to do that. We'll just have to set up a limit. He can't just restore infinite footage, is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But for the moment, it's not an issue. You get the scan of the recording of the corpses, and you guys can move on. As you guys move further...
I have a question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Since Cleon is right next to me and working with me for that little bit, I'm just going to ask the question. So, how long do your people live?
Indefinitely, until something kills us.
Information to store for research.
Does that help you, given he's like not technically organic? You might find it interesting, but
Well, I think actually in the
It's a side
there are
effect.
organic parts to them, aren't there? I thought it was.
I mean, like wood, insofar as
mixed.
wood is organic.
Yeah.
But like you're not like a living, breathing, growing creature.
That's true.
Right.
Yep.
You're like a set entity.
Not that we know.
Yeah, no one knows what happens to anything I eat, because I don't get rid of it. So maybe there's a black hole in me or something. But because Cleon eats honey, he loves honey. He can't get enough. So
Probably
that's what
just
he's got his
dissolves
alchemist
away.
jug for. Yeah, well, it keeps him, keeps him sweet.
It would still
Turns
go
into
on-
resin that reinforces your bindings and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Something.
sure.
It would still go in my research of
Just notes of the crew.
places that live longer.
Is that like a thing that you have written, like longest lived species, like gnomes, dwarves, elves? Is that like know, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
That makes sense contextually. So as you guys progress forward after you've sort of finished these scans and this little very brief respite, you guys get probably another kilometer. So you're probably about around half a kilometer away from the ship. And you guys, can you guys give me another scan?
That's a good question, can we?
And this has probably been, what, like half an hour?
Maybe a little more, but yeah.
Yeah. Give or take, yeah.
Sorry, my computer's being really slow. Come up. Come here. Hello. It's just weird.
I press the button, but I don't even look at what it says.
I
By accident.
have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea if you guys can see. If you can't, if you can, pretend you can't for a moment.
I see Model D green.
I don't have
That's
to pretend.
all.
I can close my eyes.
Oh, I see.
Okay. 19, 5, 15. All right. So the 5 sees nothing. You don't know if it's your scanner malfunctioning or if you messed it up, or if it's like you were trying to change the resolution and you meant to set it to 1920 by 1080, but you set it to 192 by 1080. It's just like a little sliver.
Oh yeah, been there.
Yeah.
15 seconds later, it returns to what it was.
Amazing. But both the 15 and the 19, while you're aware you're getting relatively near to the ship, you do detect one of these areas where there's a jump fuel deposits. And that is, technically speaking, a part of your mission to at least look at that. Would you guys like to do that?
Yes.
It is like, if like this is the path to the ship, it's like right here. Like a minute walk,
Gotcha.
Do that.
Yeah, let's best time, most sense. If there's paths, make way for that instead.
All right, so you guys traverse forward, sort of like skirting to the side. Let me try it again. Traverse toward your destination, sort of skirting to the side. Once you realize there's one of these clusters of jump space deposits, and you find yourselves entering a moderately large clearing amidst the trees with scant few crystals, as opposed to like everywhere else. There are like crystals everywhere. In this particular location, there seem to be very few crystals, and most of the trees seem to be quite a bit smaller. And then sort of towards the center, you find this clearing, which contains these, hopefully you can see now, chunks of, it's a pretty big clearing, like chunks of jump fuel, right? It's this like sort of mineral substance that kind of gets ground down and processed into jump fuel. I don't think any of you are, none of you are engineers. You don't really know how this works. But you know that that's the case. So would you guys like to move forward and investigate and do some scans?
Yes. Do we have the means amongst our current crew to mine it or to take, to get some of it?
You could definitely get like a sample, but you couldn't mine a whole bunch of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we need
And
to get
I'll tell my drone to do a loop of this clearing, looking for any abnormalities.
Sure.
Or movement.
Cleon would be scanning for threats.
I'll also move forwards a bit in order to do that.
So we've got a scanning for threats, a looking for threats. While your drone does that, like, what are you physically doing? Moving forward and...
Yeah, Cleon would be right next to Xylos as he moves forward, just out of defending him.
Sure.
So maybe
And I do think both Sovok and Little Razor are kind of just near you guys, like within enough distance that if something happens, they could interject, as is their job.
Right.
What are you doing, Armilla?
I was scanning the deposit, but then I was going to take a sample of.
How close are you getting to the deposit? Oh, you got to take a sample. That's totally answers the question. Sorry.
Yes, it does.
So I imagine you move towards it. And you're taking the sample. All of you are moving forward, right? Because if she is, all of you are.
Yeah. Cleon would want to be with whoever's, you know what I mean? He wants to be Vanguard taken care of.
Sure.
Nobody ahead
Oh,
without him being
I'm
escorting.
I'm kind of not getting much further forward than about this, such that I can sort of still see within my peripheral vision this whole sort of area at a given time.
Sure. I got you.
Because I'm sending my drone off on that, and I'm wanting to sort of watch it go around.
Sure. So, Armella, let's start with a scan.
Oh, I already did it. That was the 8.
It was the 8, not the 15? Oh, the 15 was for the prior one? Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't... I think you are
let him do it
assisting,
one
right?
more
You said
time.
that?
Oh, I was last time, but...
Am I thinking of last time? Yeah, so you
I
can go
would
ahead and roll it
if-
again.
Yeah.
Yes, I need all help I can get, apparently.
2 scanners are better than
There
one.
we go. You're magic, man.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. So as you're sort of scanning these jump fuel deposits, it's like very much the like normal standard. This is jump fuel. This is exactly what I would expect the jump fuel to look like, right? There are traces of like silicate sort of like woven into it, like almost like intermixed with it, as well as a large an abnormally high like number of sodium crystals.
Huh.
And as you're sort of like looking at this, did you do your scan? I don't see it. Cleon, there it is. Is it the 19? That was the prior one, right?
That was the prior one. You want me to run one?
Yeah.
23.
Like presumably you're like, oh hey, you've got your scanner programmed wrong. You've like committed the booklet to memory, and so you help Armilla in that sense. And you look at your scanner and you're like looking for threats. As you're sort of like looking at your scanner, and I think this is probably roughly the time your drone comes back. And you're sort of looking at your drone. Both of you are sort of like looking at something very similar. As you're sort of, let's start with the scan. As you're looking at the scan, you just see like occasional like specks of like moving dead zones in the scan. And they're sort of like speckled all around this like not physically inside the clearing, but like past into the forest and stuff. They're like in there, but like relatively near the clearing. As for our little drone smith over here, Xylos, you're looking at this like projection of the video, right? And as you're watching it, the like camera turns and pans, and there's just like a void of black static in the video, and the drone being the drone just like keeps going around, and every once in a while there's like these like zones of black static in certain places. Can I get everyone to give me a perception check? Oh, I'm so sorry. At disadvantage. I meant to say it. Because you've got Armilla like doing the scans and taking the sample. You've got Cleon looking at this like weirdness on the scanner. You've got Xylos like looking at the drone's video footage.
Disadvantage? Me? Never.
So
I was 13 and 14, I think.
So we got 13 and 14, 14 and 25, which is just 14. So 13, 14, and 13. Let me get our friends here.
Well, Xylos said 17.
17 plus Xylos.
Fair enough. There's Hera. Perception. Oh, disadvantage. That's right. Well,
When it came to the static, was that sort of one of these things of like the closer looking sort of in a direction, or like having something in the field of view, it just like becoming all sort of staticky and whatnot? Or was it sort of like within the view there was specific bits that were staticky?
so it was like
If
kind of
that
like
makes
this.
any sense.
Unclear. It was kind of like this. Like if you're looking,
Yeah.
if you're just looking, I'm gonna draw this like sort of near you. It's like there's like this, I don't know, shape, right? But then like this whole area around the shape and the shape itself are like obscured in this like black static.
Sure, yeah. So it wasn't yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Like,
Fantastic. And
not
to be
unlike
clear,
a
it's not.
darkness bubble.
Go ahead.
Maybe I was just saying, not unlike a darkness bubble that has maybe a static effect added to it.
Maybe a little smaller. If you're sort of, going that like
I just mean
magical
like
route.
visually, like
Like,
the same,
in
the same
terms of
similar
like the
visual.
fantasy vibe of it. Yeah.
With like the edges sort of like glitched out video, right? But like everything inside the
okay.
glitched out video bit is like the darkness. Yeah.
And
right.
actually, there's one other question I have. In what directions were those sort of glitched out video bubble bits?
For the most part, they were all sort of like on the outskirts, in the forested area, like way past you. So like your drone wasn't like right in front of one; it was like way out there. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Sort of like over off that way,
Mhm.
that way, sort of thing.
I think as like you're sort of watching it, it does get to the point, which is about now, and you were the one that rolled high enough. You're sort of like watching the video, and as the drone's like coming back, because it was still taking video right up because it's still scanning. There's like one relatively close, sort of off in the distance, back the way you guys came from, and then the video feed cuts off, and you're looking at it, and then you see movement off to the side over here, and this like strange serpentine creature just like comes floating through the air, moving toward the batch of your friends over here. It's just sort of flying that way, and it probably gets to about here and is just floating, watching them. None of them seem to have noticed it yet, but you're staring right at it. Currently, it's not doing anything. It's just floating there.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, do I have time to take an action?
I would say you have probably the equivalent of like maybe one turn. Depending on what you do, that changes if you're going to get more.
Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to activate this thing on my drone, and it pops out with these sort of like little sort of sheltered speakers, and it's going to sort of do a culminated audio blast at oh, I'm blanking on his name, Cleon, in the form of message, and I'm going to whisper to my drone, which is going to get projected over to Cleon.
It's like the reverse of a shock. What's it called? Like, is it a shotgun mic? The one that's like a pinpoint sound in the distance. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
It was like a pinpoint
same sort of
sound
function.
to your
Yeah.
ear.
Yeah.
Project a message to him saying, there's a creature hovering above you all right now.
Yeah, probably valid.
That's all I'm going to do right now.
10 feet above the top of your heads and sort of like 10 feet behind you. So you get this message.
Cleon would like, right. Cleon would, with the scanner, kind of turn and sort of nonchalantly start looking up and scanning up above, looking for anything.
There's like this void space on the scanner, and as you like look up, you see this like massive, maybe I want to say like 25-foot long, like crystalline serpent, just like sort of coiled in the air, and it's not really at first paying attention to you. It's looking at Armilla, who's like scraping the sample, and then you turn and like you raise and you look up, and then it sort of looks at you. Currently, nothing is happening. It's just looking at you.
And Cleon's going to say, Armilla, step away from the crystal.
The gunk I'm scanning.
Yeah. You mean this gunk?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean...
I do.
Do you step backward or do you turn around?
Yeah. Didn't really direct him to look up or anything.
I mean, because I'm still scanning. I'm just going to go backwards a couple steps scanning.
Yeah, as you sort of like take your like, I don't know, 5-foot step backward?
Mm-hmm.
If I hadn't, like, I feel like I could have said a few more words in 6 seconds. I would have said, look behind you, or look up, rather, look up.
So you sort of like step back and turn around. Is that what you want to do?
I want to finish my scan, actually. I'm pretty determined to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Buzz off, I'm doing something.
Yeah, really.
So you're like, you're like, hold on, I'm almost done. Is that what you want to do?
Yep.
You take the like half a step back, just like enough to make it a step on the grid. And so you take like your step back, and you're like, hold on, I'm almost done. This like serpent like sort of rears back, and it's like as you step backwards, which you definitely hear. Everybody hears now. Everybody turns and sees this thing, and it like looks as everyone's moving. Armilla, do you turn when you hear this sound? It's like,
yes.
so you see this like crystalline serpent, and as everyone's moving, it like rears back, startled, and this like shockwave of energy erupts out from it. I need all of you except Xylos. I'm double checking. Yeah, so everybody except Xylos needs... actually, it's only the two of you. And Little Razor. So Armilla, Cleon, Little Razor, give me Constitution saves.
Ooh.
Really?
We got 15, 18, 19. So everybody succeeds, so you will all take half damage. As it seems as if the moisture is just being like torn out of your body and pulled toward this creature. So you'll all take half of this. And by all, I mean Cleon, Armilla, and Little Razor. So 14 necrotic damage as the moisture is, and this would ignore your shields. Is just like torn from your bodies.
Oh, entirely.
Yeah.
So it doesn't damage the shields either. Okay.
No, it doesn't damage them. It just ignores them.
Ignores the shield from us.
Yeah. So if you have shields, it doesn't subtract from the shields. It just subtracts from your hit points. This actually ignores everything. So it ignores your damage reduction, ignores your shields, it ignores everything.
Wow.
Am I able to take a bonus action before we roll initiative? Trying to squeeze in a second wind.
Yeah, I really don't think that's feasible.
Okay. Gotcha.
But it seems startled, and like the moment that it does this, it sort of scoots back a little bit and like elongates itself, as if it's sort of like trying to posture, right?
Puffing up.
And it is like snarling in your direction, or and so far as like a crystalline serpent will snarl, right? You guys have a moment before it acts anymore. Maybe a full turn, maybe that bonus action you wanted, depending on what you guys want to do. Sort of all simultaneous.
I'm immediately going to use my second wind.
Sure.
Where is? I thought I had it on my attack. All right, whatever. 1d10 plus 9.
Sure.
So
that sounds correct.
Healing.
Yeah. Oh, because it's your fighter level. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think unless told not to, Era is going to rush forward and sort of like try and leap up and slash at it.
Yeah, Cleon wouldn't say anything about Hackett. You know.
So on second thought,
I'm just recon guy on this mission. It's
okay.
Not my responsibility to make calls like this.
Armella, what were you saying?
Oh, we're not going to reprimand them from doing their job. Go ahead.
I was going to correct myself. She's only like 3'8". She's not going to jump 16 feet in the air. No, she's going to reach on her belt and she pulls like this metal sphere and just chucks it at the thing.
Ooh.
And when she uses the metal sphere, she can make 4 attacks instead of 3. So she's just going to get her full volley. Which some of those hit. 2 hits. It is just 10 damage. Everybody roll initiative.
There we go. Yep.
Here we go again. Okay.
If we already had a little bit on our shield from last time, do we not do the shield automatically on initiative if we don't want to? Or does it just automatically re-up?
Think about it this way. Unless you stop it, it will just automatically re-up. But if you kind of stop it, doesn't really require an action, just, declare it, then it doesn't. Because there is a limited amount of shields you can get in a day, so it makes sense that you'd be able to prevent it in some capacity.
Yeah. I think I'm going to prevent mine. I declare that. I have 2 left.
I am not.
Gives me 3 charges.
Hush, I'll go.
He declared it.
Solok has 1 point left in this, so he's just going to go ahead and let it go.
Ooh. I'll just watch everybody else go first.
Oh no!
Maybe I will.
Why does it always happen when I don't know what I want to do? Okay, I guess I've got no, for this turn 0 or turn 1, I do know what I would do.
Sure.
Once everyone's ready.
That would always do for me too.
Yeah, I mean, in all technicality, it did attack you. Technically. Ow. I don't know if you guys heard that. Shoulder just popped.
And, okay, yeah, looks like I'm going to be going first. And for now, don't know exactly what I'm dealing with. Gonna leave the drone on me. Going to cast
Activate.
Yeah, so something that you'll see is Xylos has a bunch of these kind of like palm-sized battery-like devices around his Go-Go Gadget waistband. And is going to pull one off and stick it into his shoe for expeditious retreat.
I like the idea of it. Like it's like you're jury rigging something, right? And you like put a little bubble gum on it and then stick it on your shoe, and all of a sudden you got like jet boots. I mean, basically, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I've got to pay attention, otherwise I'm just going to be flailing all over the place. And something. So I'm going to let me double check the read. When you cast it, yeah. So I'll dash round there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, if they're rocket boots for real, they'd be a little bit extra charged because of the oxygen atmosphere.
oh yeah.
Like, you get a little bit of extra oomph and
I
you'd
don't
feel
think
it.
they technically work that way, but fun thought.
And
It's the
I'm
placebo.
not going to shoot at it. I'm
Okay.
going to sort of cross the bow shoot. Sort of intentionally missing it.
Mhm.
Sort of across like that.
You're gonna try and use your weapons fire to intimidate it away.
Essentially, yeah. And I'm moving round this way so that it kind of like has an out.
Or
Shoot, get away.
yeah,
Get
roll me an
outta here.
intimidation
Yeah.
check. Why not? The like weapon attack is facilitating it.
Yeah. This is not my forte by any means, but
Oh, that's insight.
insight.
That's a shame because that was a pretty good roll. That's still a decent roll,
Yeah.
all things
Not
considered.
bad.
What?
Better than I expected.
Well, we'll see if that does anything other than it's like it sort of like rears back as that like flash of the I think it's a laser pistol you have like just goes off in front of it and it's like rears back. Armilla
And,
is
yeah, that's
next.
my full turn. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's your go. What do you want to do?
New life form.
Wish I had a shield or something that I could. Anyway. So I think I would like to take a second and see if is this more plushy organic than everything else that we've noticed here, or is it?
It's less. It's a lot less so than the like insect apes that you had dealt with, but it's more organic than the crystals themselves. Would you like to use your turn to like step forward and sort of examine it? You absolutely can do that.
I have an idea. If I could get my sheet to stay put.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Thank you. Do I have? I do. I have 6 in animal handling, so I am actually going to walk up to it and like shoo it away. That makes sense? You
Give
know,
me animal handling. Well, so it definitely like rears back, and let's have you. How far forward are you moving? So you're not, you're not moving within arm's reach, but you're definitely moving closer. Yes.
yes, which I'm sure Cleon will love.
I do think that it's sort of like reeling back, uh, and sort of coiling back into itself because it had previously extended out. Is there anything you want to say to the rest of your group as you do this?
Um, and it's the only one here, right? As
It's the
far
only
as
one
we
that
can
you can
tell.
see, yeah.
I will just say, we're not here to hurt you. We're just looking around. So hopefully my crew will understand what I'm doing.
Sure.
And kind of, so go back home or something like that.
For sure. I think you are technically speaking, not technically, you are quite literally the head of this mission. So I think by you doing that, Little Razor will, because she immediately follows you, will take your lead and sort of like weapons down and step back,
Okay.
but slowly.
Down, not put away.
Down.
Right.
And
Okay.
then it comes to its turn. It sort of like looks at Little Razor, who's technically the only one that's hurted at this point, and the rest of you have just sort of startled it, and it's sort of like looking to Little Razor to try and figure out that situation, and it's sort of like slowly flying backward at this stage, still about like 16 feet in the air. It's not making any hostile moves. It's largely as if it was sort of investigating what you were doing here, and then you startled it, and it reacted. So I think much in the same way as it's sort of backing up slowly, Sovok, weapons down, backs away slowly. We're over to Cleon. What's doing, Cleon?
Would actively, maybe, I don't know, squatting is not the right term, but he's going to sort of get a little shorter, a little smaller, and actually slowly walk up. And by slowly, I mean like spend the entire 6 seconds to travel 15 feet instead of the 30 feet. And just be in front of, or really, the way I'm picturing is more of like literally right next to Armilla.
That makes so much more sense than in front of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to necessarily. I want to portray that I'm walking close, slowly to a comrade and everything's peaceful, and put my hand on Armilla and again maybe get down a little bit and just that's my turn.
Sure, Cleon. Sorry, Xylos. You're muted.
So yeah, Xylos will sort of mirror its movement, but like its pace, but in a sort of like radial way to sort of move away and in the sort of
Out and away.
more, yeah.
For sure. I think Armilla. I imagine, like, are you gonna sort of keep up the like calm demeanor at a distance? What do you want to do? It seems to be moving away.
Lol, joking. Open fire.
I'm going to sit down. Just sit down on the ground.
Oh, fair enough. You take a seat.
That's it. Yeah.
I think Little Razor's probably not gonna sit down and just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
This serpent is gonna move back another 20 feet, and then sort of whirl around, like turns around and just flies away at full speed, and it's gone. Full speed for this thing as a dash, it probably would 80 plus, so it's 120 feet away. Well, 100 feet away. So you guys see it like off in the distance when it comes to Sovok's turn, and Sovok's just like, okay, now what?
Cleon looks at Armilla and says, "Good strategy," and straightens back up.
Thank you. But
Yeah.
try not to touch me again. And then I walk over back to what I was doing.
Yeah, so that clears the turn order as the serpent flies away. It's really difficult. Give me a xenobiology check, Armilla.
Oh. Okay. That would just be biology, right?
That's biology, I'm sorry. Yeah. I think I will give it to you with that. Specifics aside,
Fabulous, yeah.
like you're not sure of the specifics. That like serpentine creature definitely seems to have a connection to these deposits, but you're pretty sure it's going to be very hard to figure out what's going on, and it's going to have to be very old school, given that they are sort of like, as you're looking at your scanner as it flies away, they are the blank, like, dead spots on the scanners. So you're not going to be able to...
We'll have to sit and observe, not necessarily record.
Yeah, like your scanners aren't going to do much good on them.
Right.
But this is legitimately a jump fuel deposit.
Mm-hmm.
So and those things are somehow connected to it, and you can sort of jot that down in your metaphorical notebook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to save a recording of that encounter. Well, maybe I will, but it's just all static, so...
Yeah, mostly static.
I'll just save an audio copy.
No, I was going to say... Never mind.
Yeah, so I imagine you take some of the jump fuel deposit samples. Extended study of this stuff is going to be from your geologist. But yeah, in the meantime, you guys continue on your journey.
About how far do you think we've gone from the dropship to the... You said it was like 3.1 kilometers, I think, right?
It was like
to our destination.
It was 3.1 kilometers specifically to the signal, like the genetic reading of the elk.
Gotcha.
You guys have traveled roughly, maybe just like slightly over 2.5 kilometers. And now you're heading the rest of the way there, presumably. Right?
Yes.
Presumably.
Shuffling people around. Excuse me. All right. So with that fight avoided, you guys head further northwest toward the ship's crash site. As you guys do so, you can sort of see, like, in the distance, as you're getting closer and closer, and you're like, 2.7 meter, 2.7 kilometers, 2.8 kilometers. You can see the, like, even above the, like, tree line, this massive crystal, like, rising up. It is thinner than you might have expected. It's very tall, however. And as you guys, not as tall as some of the other ones that you guys have been seeing off in the distance that are like kilometers high. This one's like, I'd say like 600-800 feet high. And I'm shifting my measurement systems here, but you get the point. Fairly tall. And so as you guys are progressing further and further, you guys find yourselves reaching very nearly that 3-kilometer mark, and you see the wreck of the ship. It's sort of off of the edge of a cliff, like impaled on this giant crystal.
Can I ask a question about the crystal?
Sure.
Just a visual description, like what color is it? Cloudy? What's the?
It's sort of like a pale blue. It's a lot like the ones you've seen. Like pale blue, almost clear in some places. It's very, very similar to the ones that you've seen. It's just much larger, and you can sort of like assume, given there's a ship impaled on it, that it's at least relatively sturdy.
Yeah.
But I don't. I would say that it seems like it's one massive crystal that like goes up and up, right? But the lower and lower that you get is sort of, you can peer past the crashed ship. It looks like it's like a cluster, right? Like a cluster of crystals, and then there's just the one giant one that's jutting upward.
Okay. That
the ship is impaled upon. So it looks like you guys are going to have to, just based on positioning and the fact that it's off a cliff, have to walk along the outside of the ship, at least for a brief initial bit, to get to an external hatch to get inside. So you guys can sort of, I was going to say scan, but you don't have to. Not only do you guys have the deck plans, one of you spent an extended period of time studying them. You guys know exactly where the external hatch is. You guys can just move towards it. As you guys are sort of moving towards this external hatch, it's like a minute or two, and this giant like crystal is jutting upward, like kind of angled, like right next to this hatch. So you guys have to move closer to this crystal. How do you guys want to go about this?
Is the footing stable, or are we at risk of...
it feels stable for the moment, yes.
And the ship that's sort of like impaled, is it sort of like hanging off a...
It's like sort of hanging off into the ravine and sort of like wedged between like the cliff face and the crystal, sort of like this. And you guys are like sort of walking out, and where the crystal's like jutting up, and you're like, oh, there's the hatch, we got to go in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. And to start with, I'll have my drone just do a loop of it, just to have a look to see if there's any like obvious bits that are just barely holding on, sort of about to collapse or anything like that. Just to get an idea of the state of the ship,
so
from
we
a
can
visual standpoint.
We can sort of have you guys take like a minute of sort of just like standing here while the drone goes and does that. Is there any like further discussion of what you guys would like to do? One game plan, so to speak.
I was just going to ask, is it obvious to Cleon that that's the airlock into the ship based on what he studied the plans?
100%.
Like where okay. I don't think he has anything to say right now then. once we get inside, you know, he may start to give directions or something. But
Mhm.
So, like, as the drone sort of comes back after sort of doing its look, Xalos will sort of have a walk towards it to collect it and just legs stop working and just seemingly fall over.
Yeah, so more on that. So Xylos, I imagine probably before that occurs, you sort of like express to the group. Yeah, so the overview of the ship is like the exterior seems pretty sturdy. In fact, it looks like there's no exterior damage at all except for like the impalement and like some minor damage where it's like wedged against the cliff face. So you know it all seems safe and sturdy, and you know then Xylos sort of like starts to head toward it, the like small distance that remains between you guys and the hatch, and as he's sort of like moving towards the hatch, his entire body just like locks up, and he collapses forward as there's like this energy pulse from the crystal. And then, despite what he had just said, there's this creaking, and the whole ship slides further down the crystal. Everybody else, except Xylos, go ahead and give me a dexterity save to sort of like maintain your footing, so to speak.
Who needs footing when you're down?
Those stats. Roll this. Okay. 16, 21, 14. Everyone manages to stay on their feet. Sorry, everyone. You don't stay on your feet. That's the opposite of what happens. Everyone sort of like slides to one side and falls off the edge of the ship just as it like collides with the ground. And this like massive crystal like shooting 800 feet into the air remains like stable, but this like weird pulse that occurred ceases. All of you, and this is what I meant to say, like land on the ground safely with like minimal damage as you just slide down the side of the ship. Does anyone want to try and catch the unconscious Xylos?
Yes. Instinctively.
All right, give me a dexterity save. Why
I
don't
was to
you?
say absolutely.
I imagine you both like go to catch him and you clack into
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Probably.
Depends on if we roll ones or. Oh
I'm
no.
sorry. What kind of roll?
We're
grab
going with
his feet.
dexterity save in this context.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cleon like recovers and goes to catch Xylos and catches his foot on like a little chunk of crystal and stumbles over, not falling but like just stumbles. Meanwhile, Armilla leaps forward and catches Xylos, who probably would have smacked down on some spiky crystals, and now you guys are on the sort of like external side of the ship. External side? What the heck? Why? Let me try that
I'm
again.
assuming he's pretty heavy.
You guys are on. I mean, I imagine you catch him and then sort of like fall to your knees and set him down. Sure. So you guys are at the cargo entrance of the ship. Oh my god! Like, and
Heavy-ish. I'm 5'6", and like sort of a 5'6", 26-year-old in this.
really a wafer of a man.
So after all that, we ended up near the cargo bay, you said?
Correct.
Okay.
Which you guys can sort of climb in if you'd like. The ship is almost just flat. Like whatever just occurred, it almost seemed like it got magnetically pulled all the way to the bottom of the crystal. As if somehow Xylos's presence like triggered this like magnetic surge throughout the crystal.
Xylos is the key.
It's kind of up to you guys. What do you guys want to do? The cargo entrance is right in front of you. You guys can sort of climb inside, or at least try to pry it open, right? A big chunk of the crystal like juts upward. It is worth noting Xylos is on the ground unconscious. He is out. He's there. There's nothing there.
Okay, well, we're gonna go inside and place him somewhere safe.
We're gonna take him into the cargo bay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leave him out.
Okay, you want
Leon will carry him. Leon will pick him up.
You guys will head into the cargo bay. Are you going to do as you said? As Cleon said, if anything happens?
Do what? Then I missed what he said.
No, at the start, Cleon said if anything happened, he was going to do something involving a radio.
Oh,
you mean to check in with the... Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And you said, and I quote, and if anything happens, we'll radio in.
Yeah, radio in.
It's like verbatim.
That's what I said.
Yeah. So we'll call back to Rylan and Brady. I wanted to say Brandy. Brady and Rylan.
Sure.
And let them know that we're at the ship. We encountered some static and other stuff. We'll talk to you later.
Really? That's it? Oh my god.
Wow.
Somebody's unconscious? Nothing like that. Okay.
What are they going to do about it?
I mean, it is only 3 kilometers. Did you guys want to? You said you were heading inside. Let's do that. I'm gonna have to zip you guys to the appropriate location. Let me make sure the light's right on this. It should be set up to reveal. Okay. It's the Fog of War reveal system. As you guys climb in... Sorry, that's not where you are. You guys sort of... oh, yeah, I skipped a step. You guys are supposed to pry open the cargo bay door.
I'm going to put Xylos back down. Pry open the door.
I think between Sovok, Little Razor, and Cleon, you guys can definitely do it. So you guys just pry
Use
open...
the back of his head like a wrench. Yeah.
Did I say Xylos? Between Sovok, Little Razor, and Cleon, you guys can do it. And your drone is just following your body. Like last orders, it was assigned to you. It's like projecting a shield around your unconscious body. All right. So as you guys come up in here and sort of climb up, can I have... Sorry, I'm not sure what you guys can see. Not much, actually. Hold, please.
So we're kind of like climbing up into something. Is that correct?
Up into the cargo bay, is it sort of like... It's like a drop-down
Gotcha.
sort of situation.
Oh, drop down into it. Okay.
No.
No, other way around.
It drops down, and you climb aboard.
Okay.
I feel like I'm missing a word here. So sorry. Where's the reveal? They moved stuff. Damn it all. Okay. Had to make sure that was not visible. All right. So you guys should be able to see quite a bit of this cargo bay. Hopefully.
Oh, look, they have a sports car.
That's a little rover guy.
Oh, is that crystal like piercing the ship?
Yeah, that's like piercing up through the ship.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that is precisely
I
what's
was having
occurring.
trouble picturing where it was until now.
Yeah, it's probably slightly bigger than this, but this gives you the gist, the idea. It's sort of like not like it's not really heavily damaged the rover, but it's like sort of like caused it to sort of like lean over, so like it's like angled against it.
Right.
All right. So does anybody want to check the status of Xylos now that you're up here?
Yes.
Do
Though
I have medicine?
Armella is kind of in charge.
I want to say I
Like if
probably.
Armella said, "Let me check it," I would. I guess I'd put Xylos down and then look at Armella.
Okay. You know what? I don't have medicine. That is weird.
Oh, I thought you did. Interesting.
I do.
I
Can I?
don't
Well, I
do it.
don't have the medicine skill actually, but I
So
have
I guess I'm
ways to heal.
doing biology again. Didn't ask you.
I can get help for advantage.
I really thought you had. I was so sure we slapped medicine for you.
I know.
I mean, you've got all your skills, so.
I got 9. Yeah. So. Huh. Okay. So.
Unless you like, I don't know. You can roll medicine. It's just you're not proficient, so it's not going to be as effective per se.
Well, would I use my scanner?
Oh yeah, you could do it. You could scan him. I could
That
absolutely.
would make sense.
If you scanned, would you do like a handheld scanner or the biology proficiency? Because
Well, scanner is what you just like what does the scanner see, and then like biology might be how you interpret what you've seen.
Right.
Okay.
Which as high as your biology is, I don't think you even need to roll. All that you really get, even or especially with the 11, is that there seems to be no like active like his body is functioning, but there's no like active signal in his brain.
He's brain dead?
Yeah. There's no
But
like.
he is humanoid.
Oh yeah, he's humanoid. He's
Okay.
very nearly human.
Very nearly human. That's funny.
Which
Are we talking personality or
like what standard protocol is for this, which is probably like crossing your mind as you guys start to hear movement in the area around you.
If we're hearing movement, I think Cleon would look at Savak and Little Razor and say we need to secure this area and just leave Armella and Armella to Xylos basically.
So standard procedure is, and this is the whole reason like why the field medic was supposed to be there. You're supposed to radio back, and either they come to the field medic, or in this case the doctor, come to you, or you go to them. That's standard procedure. That's what's supposed to happen.
So I'm gonna be. Can I see that rover over there?
I mean, you can see the rover, yeah.
If that works, we need to take this back to the doctor. Take him back.
Take him back
we
to the doctor.
We want to get back to the doctor. Okay.
Yeah, you want to. I mean, that makes sense. You guys can pile into the rover, and exit the ship, and it'll take a little longer because you guys did sort of fall down a cliff. But now you have a rover. You're going to be going much, much faster.
Right. And that's much faster than the doctor coming to us.
Sure.
And
then you guys can always just come back with the rover,
right?
Yeah.
To do the next stage.
And I was just joking around her. I mean, I was just trying to be funny. So obviously we'll radio that in and let them know we're coming in hot with a injured person.
Yep.
Absolutely, sure. So you guys sort of climb onto the rover, and as you guys are climbing onto the rover and you start to like drive out. Can I have everybody make me a perception check before you guys like really get too far? Like you haven't left yet, right?
I refuse.
Fair enough.
I'll do my best.
All right, we've got a 26. That's pretty good. All right, you see a number of like humanoids, 2 or 3. They look to be human. Their skin is like rotted off, and they're like a very pale complexion and thin. And I mean, the 23 sees this as well. With a 23 with biology, you know immediately what's going on here. As you see these creatures, those are humanoids. Again, quite possibly human, afflicted with flash rot, which has turned them sort of like zombified them, if you will. You straight up, and this is, if I can stop forgetting names, this is Armella. Armella's like, hold on, and like the rover stops. Armella, you jump out, you run to the cargo bay, and you slam the button to close the door, and then run back out, sealing these flash rot zombies inside the ship to deal with another time, as you guys all pile in the rover and start to drive back towards the dropship, which, I mean, with the rover and even like, you know, driving around the geology of the area, you guys can get back to the dropship in like 7 minutes. Honestly,
Nice.
it's like having a rover is like a huge deal. So hopefully you can take it with you. The wheel's kind of fucked up, but you're sure you can repair it.
Yeah.
So as you guys get back,
Certainly, if you have a roboticist. Oh wait.
as you guys get back to the dropship, you guys, I imagine Armella would probably be the one to do this. As the doctor's examining Xylos, you radio up to Captain Black
Absolutely.
and tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
So what's the rough like report that you're gonna give?
We reached the ship after dealing with two different types of creatures here. When we reached the ship, what's his name? Went unconscious. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Xylos. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
And
Appears brain dead.
appears brain dead. And as we were tending him, the humanoids of the ship came toward us, and they all have
Flash rot.
flash rot. They are sealed in. We took their Land Rover and are heading back to the dropship. Done.
Sure. Well, I think this was probably given like after you guys got back and the doctor was examining him. So I think it's just like
Probably.
right after you end the comms, like end the communication.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. The doctor looks up at you guys, and he goes, "Are you aware this man has no brain activity whatsoever?"
Noticed that.
Just nod.
Right. Well, I'm going to need to get him back to the ship immediately before this causes any permanent damage. And he like looks over at Anzo, who's kind of the one in charge of the dropship. And he goes, "I imagine you should probably radio the captain again and inform him that we will be taking what was this man's name again?"
Xylos.
Right, Xylos back to the ship. I will be needing my medical equipment prepped. And he's like putting Xylos on a gurney.
I guess we would explain to the doctor there then and there in person exactly what happened, transpired. He
Yes.
walked toward a crystal and then
Conked out.
we got him here. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Right. Yes, I'll be needing to address this. You, and he points at Cherry, and he's like, this was caused by that crystal. You'll certainly need to get direct scans of it. So if you could, well, I suppose you're gonna have to ask the captain, but if you could head back with them to the ship to examine the crystal that caused this particular incident. That makes the most sense to me, right? And like this whole time, I imagine, because he had said you're going to need to radio the captain back, that you've had like the radio on, like held down as he's saying all of this.
Yeah.
And the Captain Black goes, once again, the doctor makes a perfectly valid point. Cherry and the rest of the crew, if you'll head back to the ship, we could have the twins, Anzo, the doctor, his assistant, and Xylos return to the ship. We'll be dropping the drop pod back down as soon as we're able. So I imagine we'll sort of cut there for the session as the drop pod shoots back up into the sky, and Cherry is like sitting in the back of the rover, and you guys are driving back towards the ship.
And Sobek and Ira are still here too.
Yeah, they would still be with you guys. And that is the end of episode 1, part 1. So we are hoping to be back next week with Liz as Cherry to examine this crystal.
Exciting.
Which should be interesting, as you guys have a ship full of zombies to deal with. Flash rot zombies. That's dangerous.
I'm picturing the from Mass Effect. What why am I blanking on what they're called? You know what I'm talking about? The husks.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's been an age. Yeah. For sure. That tracks.
Just
that
visually.
makes sense. I mean, not too dissimilar. So I do think with that we are done. We are done for the evening. Thank you all so much for coming. I genuinely appreciate it. It is nice to be back, and hopefully in the near future, we'll be doing this sort of thing more regularly, and it won't just be a once in a blue moon thing. Just streaming in general, really.
I'm excited for more Jumpgate. Jumpspace. Jumpspace Freelancers.
Jumpspace Freelancers. Yeah. Lots and lots of ideas for episodes. Most of them won't be two-parters, but I figured having the premiere as such was probably a great idea. And maybe next time we play, I won't be so low on the camera. Anyway, again, thank you all for coming. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic evening. And we will catch you guys hopefully next week. Goodbye all. Bye. And as always, great gaming.
Take care, everyone.